let's rock tonight. Raise your hands. One for unity, one for peace, one for freedom, one for love. Yeah, nothing's gonna stop us. We can do it all together, all together. Come on, raise your hands up. And nothing's gonna stop us now.
Looking in your eyes, I see a paradise. This world that I found is so good to be true. Standing here beside you, want so much to give you. This love in my heart that I'm feeling for you. When I say we're crazy, don't care about it. Put your hand in my hand, baby, don't ever look back. Let it roll around us, just fall apart. Baby, we can make it if we try to hard.
Hello everyone, Namaskar, Vanakkam. Welcome to Matrix MD 2021. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Melroy Dixon, Head of Education Matrix. And for those who know me, what do I say? Kya haal hai aapki? How are you doing? Long time no see. It is really good to have the Matrix family back together again. The Matrix MD is a very special day. It is the biggest get-together of its kind. We have 1 lakh hairdressers online now to celebrate the launch of a fresh new avatar to Matrix, with new colors, new packaging, and new technology. It's an exciting day for all of us in the hairdressing community, one that we truly deserve after the rocky year we've had. And I want to congratulate you all. Kyunki itna difficult time may be, you have all remained dedicated to the art of hairdressing. I am so proud. Claps for everyone. Give yourself some applause. It's been more than a year since we all met each other at Matrix Hairfest 2020 in Goa. Give me a heart in the reaction box if you've joined us there. Bahut maza aaya tha na? Well, this year we've gone virtual, so we could have more of you join us. Our party has gone from 5,000 hairdressers to the whole Matrix family of 1 lakh online at the same time. We are truly making history here. In the 40 years since Matrix was founded by Arnie Miller in the USA, we have come very far. Arnie wanted hairdressers to come together as a community, a brotherhood. To have a sense of togetherness, we have been following his vision. Today, this family extends way beyond the borders of the US. We have been in India for more than 15 years, inspiring, supporting, and educating you all as you follow your dreams. And today is a celebration of how far we have come and the great things we have for you in the future. And what a celebration it's going to be. We are going to have 5 exclusive masterclass picked especially for you. The reveal of our exciting new avatar, new product launches, and many, many chances for you to win amazing gifts. It's going to be a day full of screenshot-worthy moments, so don't forget to click and post your favorite moments with the hashtag MatrixIndia. Let me assure you that all the safety protocols and precautions have been followed in producing the Matrix M Day event. First up, we have Shane Wolf sharing his journey from a young hairdresser in a small town in America to global president of US brands. He has worked on the floor like you and me and worked in marketing and product development in the corporate sector. Shane will share with you his insights from his decades-long career and stories of his guru, Arnie Miller.
Like a lot of us in the industry, we found a home in the hairdressing community when maybe we didn't have a lot of other homes. See, I grew up in the Midwest in a tiny little town, and as a young gay man growing up in this tiny little town, trying to figure out what the heck I was going to do with my life, I wasn't the most popular kid in school. And as a result of that, maybe my self-confidence wasn't always that high. And then I found this company, this family called Matrix, this community of people where everybody was not only welcomed, but celebrated and encouraged. And it changed my life. I had never even been on an airplane. Before I got on the plane and flew to Cleveland to the first ever Synergy Salon Summit. It was this huge room, and the lights were going, and the napkins were flying in the air, and nothing's going to stop us now was blasting on the speakers, and out comes this larger than life personality. Out comes Arnie. And I had heard about him, I'd read about him, I'd even seen him speak, but the way he spoke about his inspiration of having worked in a salon, been a hairdresser, and owning a salon, and being inspired to bring value to hairdressers all over the world to ensure the success of the entire hairdressing industry with zero compromise for the support of the professional. And I just remember sitting in that chair, as naive as I was at that age, thinking, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that someday. When Arnie passed away, it was, I'll never forget where I was. I was at a training with my education team. And I just remember this extraordinary sense of loss that I had never felt in my life. And yet, immediately after that, seeing the entire Matrix family rally around the mission and the vision that Arnie had set for us, I knew that nothing was going to stop us. The advice I give to anybody who has made the fantastic choice of joining this amazing industry is to first think. Think about what it is that you want to achieve. Think about what it is that you believe you can achieve. Then dream it. Dream big. Don't limit yourself. Today, the universe that you're living in is restricted only by your own capacity to believe bigger than that, to dream, to believe that you can actually achieve it, and then dare to just make it happen. The only person standing in the way of your dream and that reality is you.
Shane's life story is as inspiring as Arnie's vision. It certainly had a big impact on our very own Asim Kaushik, who has been a driving force behind the success of Matrix in India. He was a visionary who led the launch of Matrix back in 2005. With a dream to create a vast and united community of hairdressers in India, since then, he has been a vital part of the Matrix family. He has kept the focus of Matrix on the sense of community that binds us and education so we keep growing. What does he think of our journey so far? Let's find out from the man himself.
Good afternoon. I am so proud today to be part of this amazing, probably the biggest hairdressing event on this planet Earth, which we are all connected to and enjoying right now in India. There are 1 lakh hairdressers, the Matrix hairdressers who are connected today. They're connected today with their laptops, they're connected today with their TVs, they're connected today with their mobile phones. But more importantly, they're all connected through their heart. And this is what Matrix is all about. Because this is one of the most historic moments, और हम एक history लिख रहे हैं, तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि मैं आप सब लोगों को एक बारी फिर Matrix की story सुनाऊँ. Matrix story actually start हुआ था US में. It was started by an ordinary hairdresser, Arnie Miller. ये Arnie Miller जो था, वो एक ordinary hairdresser तो था, but he had extraordinary dreams. He had very big dreams and he dared to dream big. What he wanted to do was not move the products. कैसे हम सब लोग सिर्फ products बेचना चाहते हैं, लगाना चाहते हैं. But he wanted to move the people who moved the products. And that is why he wanted to create a brand which was professional. And that is how Matrix was born. और जब मैं professional बोलता हूँ आपको, तो professional क्या होता है? Professional मेरे हिसाब से 3 चीज़ें होती हैं. प्रोफेशनल होता है एजुकेशन, एजुकेशन और एजुकेशन, क्योंकि इट इज़ ऑल अबाउट टेक्निकल एजुकेशन, इट इज़ ऑल अबाउट बिजनेस एजुकेशन, इट इज़ ऑल अबाउट how to manage your team education. So it is very important for all these education, all these opportunities to go to your team, because your team is what is driving your business. So this is what Ani always thought about, and he thought that he wanted to create that brand. Starting with just 10 products, Ani created one of the biggest brands in the US. All right, and it went to the largest number of salons. It went to the top salons in the US and it went to the smallest of salons in the US. तो सेम ही ड्रीम एक्चुअली हमारी भी थी. तो आज से 16 साल पहले 2005 में, in 2005, I remember in my 8x10 office, we were 5 people who were dreaming a similar dream for Matrix. And these 5 people, if I can remind you, are still with Matrix. And the number one person you know and you love, and the guy who has trained all of you and your team members, hundreds of times, is Melroy Dixon, the guru. Yeah? And the second person in that team was, a lot of people call him DP Sir. DP Sir? DP Sir is the GM for Professional Products Division. And the third person in that team was a very young marketer. And that young marketer was Suhas Sir. Suhas Lakhmade. So Suhas Lakhmade, and I'm so proud today that Suhas Lakhmade will take over as the GM of Matrix in India. And he will continue to be right next to you, helping you with your business and with your team. And of course, the fifth person, and I should not forget, was Johnny. Johnny Sir, a lot of people know you. And I know that, Johnny, because Johnny is the one who created Access, Leap, all these education digital programs and softwares through which we are all getting connected and learning today. So that's the 5 people. Our passion and our dream was to create a community, the biggest community of hairdressers, professional hairdressers in India. But एक छोटा प्रॉब्लम था, ये हेयरड्रेसर हैं कहाँ पे, ये नहीं हमारे को मालूम था. तो हमने क्या किया, हमने अपनी टीम रिक्रूट करी और हर टाउन खोलने से पहले ऑलमोस्ट 2 महीने तक रोज हम और हमारी टीम मैप्स लेके, नक्शे लेके एक एक गली को स्कैन करते थे सारे टाउन्स की. और वहाँ पे कोई ड्राइंग रूम में जिसका सैलून है, किसी का बेडरूम में है, किसी का गराज में है, किसी का छोटी अपार्टमेंट में है, छोटा बोर्ड लगा हुआ है, वॉचमैन से पूछ के हम सब लोगों की लिस्ट बनाते थे और आप लोगों को आके मिलते थे. और उसके बाद हम आप लोगों को बुलाते थे एक शो के लिए, और उस शो के अंदर हम स्टार्ट करते थे मैट्रिक्स की कहानी. और इस शो में मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम आपने पहली बार ही मेलरॉय को देखा होगा. तो ये हमारी एक छोटी सी स्टोरी थी. आपसे मैं एक और बात करना चाहता हूँ. वो बात आज की है. आज जो हम फेस कर रहे हैं, आज जो हमारी इंडस्ट्री फेस कर रही है, आज जो ह्यूमन रेस है, जो हम सब लोग हैं, 100 साल का सबसे बड़ा क्राइसिस, सबसे बड़ा पैंडेमिक फेस कर रहे हैं. करेक्ट? इस पैंडेमिक में, लॉकडाउन में हमारे बिजनेस पे कितना इम्पैक्ट हुआ है, ये सिर्फ आप लोग जानते हो या हम लोग जानते हैं. लेकिन क्या मैं आपसे रिक्वेस्ट कर सकता हूँ, नॉर्मली जब ये काले बादल छाए होते हैं, कि उन सारे काले बादलों के ऊपर सूरज वहाँ पे होता है, क्या हम उस सूरज के बारे में सोच सकते हैं? क्या हम ये सोच सकते हैं कि हम आने वाले टाइम में बहुत चीज़ें डिफरेंटली कर सकते हैं? अगर हम सोच सकते हैं तो हम ये भी सोच सकते हैं कि आज की डेट में, इस वक्त 1 लाख लोग इस इवेंट में कनेक्टेड हैं. वो कैसे कनेक्टेड हैं? वो कनेक्टेड हैं डिजिटल से, वो कनेक्टेड हैं ऑनलाइन, वो कनेक्टेड हैं अपने फ़ोन से. तो क्या ये 1 लाख मेरे हेयरड्रेसर फैमिली ऑफ मैट्रिक्स, क्या आप 1 लाख कंज्यूमर से कनेक्ट नहीं कर सकते अपना बिजनेस शुरू करने के लिए दोबारा से? क्या आप ये चीज़ को डिप्लॉय नहीं कर सकते, डिजिटल को बहुत सारे लोगों को अपने सैलून में वापस लाने के लिए? आप कर सकते हैं. और यही सब चीज़ें हम मैट्रिक्स के अंदर इंडिया में आपके लिए सोच रहे हैं. और आपको जानकर खुशी होगी कि आपका डिजिटल फुटप्रिंट हो, चाहे आपका मीडिया डिप्लॉयमेंट हो, चाहे आप लोगों के बारे में सब कंज्यूमर्स को आपके एरिया के अंदर आसपास में बताना हो कि आपके सैलून में कितना अच्छा काम होता है, और फिर उनको बुलाना हो ऑफ़र्स के साथ में ये सब काम मैट्रिक्स टीम आपके साथ मिलकर कर रही है। द फैक्ट इज, जितने हमारे कंज्यूमर हैं आज, वो 3-3, 4-4, 5-5 घंटे डिजिटल के ऊपर ऑनलाइन जाकर बिताते हैं। तो हम उनसे ऑनलाइन क्यों नहीं बात करते और उनको क्यों नहीं याद दिलाते कि उनको फिर भी वीडियो कॉल करना है, उनको फिर भी वापस ऑफिस जाना है और उनको वापस हमारे सैलून में सबसे पहले आना है। और यही हम करेंगे आने वाले कमिंग मंथ्स के अंदर, to bring back business back into your salon with right offers, with right business models, and through digital and online. All right? All I want to do is leave you with this one thought. एक टाइम था जब हम छोटे थे, ना हम चल सकते थे, ना हम बोल सकते थे, ना हम लिख सकते थे, ना हम पढ़ सकते थे। क्या वो एक्सपीरियंस जो था, it had any bearing to what we have become as individuals? क्या आज जो हम वो हैं, अगर हम उसके बारे में सोचें तो कितना डिफरेंट है कि नहीं है? सो व्हाट आई वांट टू टेल यू इज दैट योर नैरो एक्सपीरियंसेस ऑफ पास्ट हैव गॉट नो बेयरिंग टू व्हाट यू कैन बी इन द फ्यूचर, एंड आई लीव यू विद दैट थॉट, एंड आई विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट, एंड आई विश यू ऑल द सेफ्टी फॉर योर टीम, फॉर योर फैमिली, एंड फॉर योर सेल्फ. सी यू सून.
These stories, my story, your stories are all part of the new Matrix. We believe in giving people the freedom to live as they want and be who they want to be. Respect who you are because you're talented. Accept your uniqueness. Our differences, our diversity is common thread that binds us. Makes us a family. हम कितने भी अलग हो, पर हम साथ हैं. This is the spirit of our brand. Everyone is welcome.
Who are we? 3 simple words, 1 powerful question. And we are born into this world to find out. So, who are we? We are each unique, down to our DNA. We are each free to form our own opinions and live by our own values. We are each expressive to say it our own way, and we are each challenged. The common thread that unites us is our diversity. This should not be complicated. Yet, life isn't that simple, is it? As people, we are the sum of the experiences that came before us. All decisions and opinions we make are shaped by things that have happened to us in the past. While this can help us survive, it can also be a barrier. We think we are better than this. We think we are more than this. We think we have so much to give. We think we are ready to break free. So to those who think we can't, we say we think, therefore we can. And once we've made up our minds, that's when our hearts truly start to believe.
You better turn up.
We believe we can go wherever we want to go
When I shake, watch me rockin' if I can't
and be whoever we want to be.
If I should fall,
We believe we can change the world with a smile.
touch me, baby.
We believe that our challenges forge our personalities.
True to love, true to love.
And we believe that our personalities forge the world. We believe there is strength in diversity. We believe in the power of optimism, of self-expression, of creativity. We believe that we have a responsibility to uplift others. Because we have a responsibility to ourselves to find joy and inspiration. And we believe that when the best of me is there for you, and the best of you is there for me, this is when our family grows most beautifully. It's a big dream. We believe in it. And when we dream in rainbow. We dream of community. We dream of sharing. We dream of education. Dare to be you. Dare to be free. Dare to dream and then dare to follow it. Dare to keep trying. Dare to trust the process. Dare to evolve, to blossom, to unfurl. Dare to be authentic. It's not complicated. The common thread that unites us is our diversity. We are one family. Do you think you are ready? Do you believe you can do this? Do you dream for more? We dare you to join us. Who are we? This is who we are. Welcome to Matrix.
That was inspiring. कुछ कर दिखाने का मन कर रहा है. Are you also excited about what we have shown you so far? Give me a smile in the reaction box if you are. Are you ready to see the colorful new avatar of your favorite Matrix products from hair care to texture and color? Then get set to meet the rainbow.
Hi everyone, I am Suhas Lakhamade, the General Manager of Matrix India. I have been associated with Matrix since its launch in India, and I am truly proud of this brand because of what it stands for. When Arnie Miller founded Matrix in 1980, there was no one community of hairdressers as such. That is what he wanted to build with Matrix. He wanted to bring in togetherness. His vision for Matrix to be relevant to everyone, चाहे वो छोटे शहर से हो या बड़े, whether they worked alone or in a salon. आनी मिलर ने एक ऐसी Matrix family बनाई जहां everyone belonged and felt welcome. We at Matrix truly believe that no matter where you start out, you can dream big and reach for the stars. You just have to believe in yourself. खुद पर विश्वास करिए and go after every opportunity. Think about what you want, believe you can get it, dream of the future, and dare to make those dreams come true. This way of thinking is our mantra today. Think about the values and attitude that you're going to follow in life. Believe in yourself, your ability, and your potential. Dream about the kind of stylist you want to be. Dare to make your dream a reality. This mantra has given Matrix its purpose and identity. We have been reaching out to connect with every one of you. हम आपको confidence देना चाहते हैं. We want to keep empowering hairdressers of all ages, backgrounds, and levels of expertise with the tools and confidence they need to deliver their best and be the best they can be. Know that you're not alone. You have a family, you have us. हम हमेशा आपके साथ हैं. We believe everyone is special, no matter how different they are. हम कितने भी अलग हो, हम सब में कुछ खास है. हम एक साथ हैं. This is the inspiration behind the new Matrix. कैसा लगा हमारा नया अवतार? Young, colorful, different. This avatar represents our values and our belief that everyone is beautiful in their own way. Matrix की नज़र में सब खूबसूरत है, सब खास है. This acceptance is at the heart of our values. We are inclusive. हमारे पास आप सबके लिए कुछ है. Ways for you to build your skills, innovative products for every hair type, and support for every type of salon business. We are uncomplicated. With Matrix, you get simple solutions for complex hairstyles. आप सब advanced looks भी आसानी से बना सकेंगे with our easy to use products and techniques. Our aim is to have you all cut, color, and style with confidence. We are uplifting. Matrix gives you something to smile about, something that makes you feel hopeful and supported. We are painting the town rainbow. We are bringing color to your lives and those of your clients by celebrating who they are and making everyone feel accepted. Anekta mein ekta, that is our motto. Now let's have Mel back to tell you about how these values drive everything we do for you.
Whether you're a salon owner or a hairdresser looking to strike out on your own, we have something for each and every one of you. And not just in our range of products, we've spent years developing our education courses and nurturing your talents. As we go forward, education in hairdressing is going to be accessible for all. आप आसानी से सब सीख सकते हो. Through our Learn and Connect or Access app, you go to a place for all hairdressing know-how. It is a social platform where we, the community of hairdressers, can connect with each other and share our knowledge and our experiences. You can learn through webinars and certified e-learning courses. आप digitalization के बारे में सीख सकते हैं, जान सकते हैं कि कैसे अपने business को आगे बढ़ाएं, and even find inspiration for your clients. Of course, you can still learn from our academy and in salon classes. But Our online education initiatives will allow each and every one of you to upgrade and upskill yourself in the art of hairdressing, regardless of where you are or when you get time. Now, let's begin a really fun part of the Matrix M Day, our Matrix M Day quiz. We are going to ask you a bunch of questions and about the things you discover today. Answer this question, and the first 1,000 of you with correct answers will get stylish Matrix travel flask. Tayar ho! Here it goes. What is the Matrix mantra? Think, believe, dream, dare. Think out of the box. Impossible is nothing. Or dare to succeed. Got your answer? Don't worry if you didn't. There are more questions up ahead and more exciting gifts, all with this gorgeous new Matrix look. In fact, our new avatar has impressed quite a few hair transformers already. Want to know what they have to say? Keep watching.
Wow, I'm loving this.
It is so fresh and vibrant.
Very eye-catching.
Energetic, fresh and lively.
Colorful और vibrant.
One word only, gorgeous.
इतना बेहतरीन है.
मैं बहुत ही ज़्यादा एक्साइटेड हूँ मैट्रिक्स का नया अवतार देख के.
M, my new Matrix.
Welcome back, my friends. Today we are showing you more than the new Matrix. आज हम आपके लिए एक नया लॉन्च लेकर आए हैं in your favorite salon service, coloring. Nothing changes a person's look like a good hair color job. And how great do you feel when you see your clients walk out of the salon bursting with confidence because of your creativity. आपके confidence को भी boost मिलता है, right? And it brings in good profits. For most stylists, coloring is the bread and butter of the salon.
It is not just the most profitable service for hair salons, you know. It is also most asked about. How many times has a client asked one of you, क्या ये color मुझे suit करेंगे? Is it good for my hair? I'm trusting you, huh? Don't worry about ensuring your clients anymore. We have just the thing to give you and them more confidence.
Yes, your favorite So Color is getting strengthened. I am thrilled to present you the all-new So Color Pre-Bonded. It is the first bond-protecting coloring system that protects your client's hair, color after color. Mel, can you tell everyone what makes the new So Color so unique?
With pleasure. So Color now is pre-bonded and pre-blended. So what does it mean for us behind the chair? Pre-bonded means our exclusive bond-protecting concentrate is strengthened with unique blend of taurine and cationic polymers. ये जो है एक internal bond supporting system की काम करते हैं. How does it work? आपके बालों की damaged areas negatively charged होते हैं, ठीक है? So ये concentrate positively charged होता है. ये आपके बालों की damaged areas को bond करके उन्हें support करते हैं. Which means कि बालों की inner structure strengthen हो जाता है. This So Color range will reinforce and repair weakened bonds in the hair every time you use it. Isn't it cool? Give me a cool in the reaction box if you agree.
Pre-bonded, that's amazing. It addresses a major doubt that people have about coloring hair, that it can weaken it. But this is actually making the hair fibers stronger.
It gets even better. The So Color formula now is pre-blended as well, which means it comes pre-blended with a background and a reflect, so you can neutralize any underlying pigment.
How does that help?
These pre-blended backgrounds are made to work perfectly with warm and cool dyes and give you the expected result every single time. Your color will come out true to tone at every level, every base, and every undertone. Isn't that fantastic? I think we deserve a star in the reaction box for this. Now, as a stylist, you just have to follow the Matrix color mantra. Choose the So Color, choose the developer, and color with confidence.
And you know what? Matrix So Color Pre-Bonded range पर आज एक extra special offer है. check it out in the Salon of the Future. With our amazing SoColor pre-bonded range, we are also launching 3 new shades that your clients will love, the spiced mochas. These new shades are perfect for your clients, especially as the festive season is coming around. The rich and the warm shades blend seamlessly with natural dark bases to give you a perfect mocha brew.
Thanks, Suhas, for sharing these shades with us. I'm sure I will be using them a lot. We are also launching the trend of the season, the Spiced Mocha Melt, created with Matrix signature color melting technique. Delicious, Hannah? All these shades will be in the market from this July. So go, get them, and color with confidence. You can buy all these new shades at the Salon of the Future, and a Matrix representative will get it to you. I think it's time for the next quiz question then. For 500 trendy power banks that will make sure you never run out of battery, the question is, what is new in Matrix SoColor? New technology, pre-bonded, pre-blended, new packaging, new shades, or all of the above? Oh, I can feel the excitement in the room. As Matrix and the SoColor range gets a new avatar, so do all our other professional products. Your favorite hair care and styling range is coming in new vibrant packaging that will make your shelves look so much more colorful. I hope you're sharing this excitement of Matrix M-Day with your friends on Facebook and Insta, with screenshots tagging Matrix India for a chance to get featured on our social wall. और आज जो भी पूरा इवेंट अटेंड करेंगे उन्हें एक पर्सनलाइज्ड ई-सर्टिफिकेट मिलेंगे. So keep watching and sharing. Now, are you ready to polish up your skills? All set for masterclasses with our international stylists. Give me a thumbs up in the reaction box. First up, we have Tabata Coffee, the Matrix Global Ambassador. She has been in a love affair with hairstyling for 39 years. That's right. She will tell you everything you need to know to achieve your full potential and how you can make your dreams come true. So open up your minds and hearts and sit back. You are in the chair of change now.
Hi everyone, I am Tabitha Coffey, Matrix Global Business Ambassador. Welcome. I have a question for you. How do you speak to yourself? What do you think about yourself? Do you speak to yourself the way you would a loved one, a client, a spouse, someone that you just met on the street? Would you say the things that you say to yourself and about yourself to one of those people? Or do you just say certain things to yourself? How does it make you feel? Do you say things to yourself like, oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, this is so dumb that I'm even trying this. I'm never going to get that. Would you say that to someone that you love? Would you let them think about themselves the way that you think about yourself? The reason I'm asking these questions is because our mindset is everything, and it will affect every single thing you do in your business and your life. Your mindset will affect how you show up, whether you can or can't do something. And I want us to address it and change it so that if you think you can't, by the end of this, you're going to start thinking, oh yeah, I can, and go out and do it. So on average, we have roughly 60,000 thoughts a day. It's a lot. Our brains are busy. And we tell ourselves these narratives and these stories. We have these loops that we play through our mind over and over and over again. And if they're great and positive, that's fantastic. But most of the time, we're not playing great, fantastic loops. We're playing things that keep us stuck, hold us back, create more fear and anxiety, and tell us that we cannot do something or it isn't possible or available for us. So I have been in this beautiful, sometimes crazy, but always passionate relationship since I was 14 years old. So 39 years, way longer than some of you have even been alive. It hasn't always been easy. It has certainly had its highs and lows, its ups and downs. There were times that I felt like giving up, especially on myself, but never on it. It was my first love and the place that I could feel safe to create and express myself. It has challenged me. It has exceeded my expectations. And it will be the longest and the most consistent thing I have ever done in my life. I'm truly as passionate about it today as the day that I first walked into a salon and fell in love with the smell of perm solution and setting lotion, and felt the noise and the electricity of such a vibrant community, and realized that they could transform people. It certainly transformed me. That is my mindset and my narrative if you ask me why I became a hairdresser or why I love this industry. And it's true, but that is the narrative that moves me forward when I'm having a bad day. When something hasn't gone the way I wanted it to go, that's the narrative that I go to. I remember vividly why I fell in love with this industry. So what is the narrative that you tell yourself? Because they're a really big thing. And our narratives do come from everywhere. Our mind actually believes whatever we tell it. It's the way it works. So if you're saying things like, I'm never going to be able to do that. I can't raise my prices because my clients will leave me. I'm not smart enough, creative enough, or whatever enough. This is never going to work out for me. I'm never going to make more money. I can't have the business that I want. I'm never going to be successful. Well, you're doing a few things to yourself. First and foremost, obviously, you are limiting yourself, your growth, and your potential. The other thing that you'll be doing is you will be looking for any sign you can subconsciously to back up this narrative. So you can say to yourself, see, I told you so, see? And it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And it's all because you are feeding your mind a toxic junk food diet based on your limiting beliefs or fears. First, we make our beliefs, and then our beliefs make us. So I want to give you this analogy. Have you ever had a client tell you that they want something totally different, but they don't want to lose any length, they do not want to color their hair, and oh, by the way, I need to be out of here really quickly, I have an appointment. I can feel you smiling and nodding. That client just tied your hands, right? They just restricted you with all that you can't do. Well, you may be doing the same thing to yourself with your mindset and your attitude. Here's the thing, you could change the narrative, the thought, and the belief at any time. And it isn't just about feeding yourself positive affirmations, although yes, they certainly help with mindset. It's about what you think about yourself, how you speak to yourself. What power do you believe you have? What potential do you believe you have? It's allowing yourself to think about what is possible. It's being curious and also clear on what you want. Look, sometimes the narratives we tell ourselves aren't even ours. Sometimes it's a belief we hold from our childhood or something that happened that may never happen again, but it affected us and we held onto it. Sometimes it's something that we can misread and put our own spin on it, but it doesn't mean that we can't change it. If I had listened to half the things that people said about me, I certainly wouldn't be standing here talking to you today. So you can choose to believe all that rubbish and the things that you say to yourself about yourself, or you can choose not to. You can also use it as rocket fuel. And believe me, when you change your mindset, it will absolutely change your attitude and how you approach things. Here is the really cool thing. We are the writer, producer, star, and director of our careers and our life. You get to be whoever it is you think you want to be. So who is it? Do you think I'm a hairdresser and that's it? Or do you think I'm a professional, a mentor, an influencer, a service provider, a change maker, an artist, a creative, an entrepreneur, a leader, an educator, a boss? Several or all of those things can be true at once, but you need to name them, claim them, and then own them. And by that, I mean embrace and emulate it. A leader leads by example. A change maker doesn't just create change in others, they embrace it for themselves. A professional is professional in all that they do and say. They set a benchmark. An influencer inspires people to greatness. You get the idea. But if you want a career, you need to plan it, work on it, and craft it. If you want a job, you just need to show up. It is your choice and the vision that you hold for yourself. But it doesn't happen by luck. It will only happen from investing in your craft and yourself. You know, success comes from commitment, hard work, consistency, curiosity, passion, persistence, flexibility, honesty, humility, tenacity, courage, and failure. Yes, I said it, failure. Because failure is a lesson and an opportunity to do it differently the next time. It is never something to be scared of. You grow through what you go through. It's a learning. Nobody becomes successful overnight. I know it may feel that way when you're on the outside looking in, but I promise you, they worked their tail off and put in the blood, sweat, tears and years to get where they are. Success is also knowing that it isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. You are always a craftsman honing your skills, expanding your skill set. Mastery isn't something that you learn and then that's it, it's done. It's something that you continually and consistently work on to expand. It's having proficiency and knowledge and becoming more masterful. And part of that mastery is your mind and your emotions and how you feel about yourself. You know, the beautiful thing about this industry is the latitude it gives us. You can tell that I am obsessively passionate about it. Others may enjoy it and love it, but don't have the same fire in the belly passion that I have, and that's okay. There is room for all of us. There is a place for all of us. We all want a different thing, and that's amazing. There are so many opportunities and avenues that you can take within this industry, and it is one of the incredible things that I love about it. And we all view success differently, and that's okay too. But it is important to ask yourself, who do I want to be? Because if you don't have some clarity around that question, you won't know where you're going. And if you don't know where you're going, well, you stay stuck. You stay exactly where you are. And we need to not let our fear dictate our future. You will never know all that you are capable of if you're letting your fear hold you back. It really doesn't matter what path you choose. It's the one that's right for you, and sometimes it may change. But you can't treat your profession like a hobby and expect a career or even a great job. And you certainly can't treat it like a hobby and expect to make a great livelihood. A hobby is something that you dabble in, right, for enjoyment. It isn't professional. You don't need to be professional when you do it. And oh, by the way, you don't get a paycheck from it. You need to put in the work to get the benefits and the rewards. If you're treating your career like a hobby, then that is also how everyone else around you will treat it. If you aren't valuing what you do, how you do it, what you bring to the table, then trust me, that will be reflected back to you from everyone around you, including your clients. And that comes from our mindset. If you think I'm just a hairdresser, you're negating yourself, because you are so much more than that. Reach into that potential, change that mindset. I am a hairdresser that changes people's lives. I am a hairdresser that gives people the space to sit down and take care of themselves. I'm a hairdresser that teaches people how to look and feel their best. When we can change our mindset, reframe the words that we say to ourselves about ourselves, it will absolutely change how you show up and what you bring and how other people view you. And I want to address value so that you understand. You are valuable. Full stop. End of sentence. As a human and the rock star that you are valuable, regardless of what you charge for a service. As the human and the rock star that you are valuable, whether you have a client in your chair that day or not, whether you've had a great month or a not so great month. You are always valuable. But when we start to confuse our value as a human with what we do as our profession, as the service that we provide, or the amount that we charge, it can make us feel doubt and lack of confidence and start to not believe in ourselves. And that isn't where you should be coming from. You should never question your value. You should never question your worth. Stop holding yourself back. Stop keeping yourself small. And truly live the greatness that you want to live. And there is one more thing that you need to ask yourself, and that is, what are you willing to give up to become the person you want to be? Because the truth is, all success, owning a business, being really busy behind the chair, standing on a stage talking to you, any success has a price. There is something you will have to give up to get that thing you want. And sometimes the first thing will be the limiting beliefs that you have of yourself. And often that is the hardest thing for any of us to put down and walk away from. I know that you invest in yourself because you're here. I know that you're passionate about your career because you're here with us. But I also know that you have so much potential inside of you. You have some dreams that maybe you're a little scared to go after. And I know you have some thoughts about yourself that we need to break through. So question those thoughts. Walk away from this class, and every time you hear that negative thought about yourself, every time you say something negative, change it. Counteract it, counterbalance it. Yes, this is hard, but I'm tough. I can do it. Because I know you can. Thank you, everyone.
That was an inspiring talk, right? We don't always realize when we are blocking our own success. खुद को आगे बढ़ाने से रोक रहे हैं. But that stops now. I hope Tabata has opened your eyes to the way in which you can fight your fears and make sure you grow. She has inspired many hairdressers like this all over the globe with her ideas. And now, let's find out how Matrix has inspired hairdressers right here in India.
First time मैंने seen a happy client.
ज्यावेळेला मी माझा पहिला हेअरकट केला आणि तो क्लायंटला खूप आवडला.
स्टुडेंट लाइफदेखि नै मलाई हेयर ड्रेसिङ प्रति एकदमै धेरै रुचि थियो.
I've seen my mother cutting hair every day and that's how my passion grew.
In 2006
at Matrix Education Studio.
In my first salon,
2016.
2007.
2005 में मैट्रिक्स एजुकेशन एकेडमी के अंदर अटेंड की।
In an education show.
as a beginner in my first salon.
मैट्रिक्स ने मुझे बहुत कुछ सिखाया है।
मैट्रिक्स एक चांगला रिझल्ट देते
र खुदको एउटा सलुन इस्टाब्लिश गर्ने अपर्च्युनिटी दिए।
गिवन मोर अपॉर्चुनिटी टू ट्रैवल अराउंड द वर्ल्ड
इंटरनेशनल क्वालिटी দিতে অনেক সাহায্য করেছে।
जिस कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ मैं आज काम कर पा रही हूँ वो पूरी तरह से मैट्रिक्स की देन है।
Matrix gave me a good education which made me a confident hairstylist.
I give my client international quality work.
Matrix has given me confidence.
अंडर कलर is my favorite color. It would be Opticare.
Favorite product in Matrix is the Opticare.
सर्वात आवडतं प्रोडक्ट मॅट्रिक्सचं सो कलर मॅट्रिक्स.
So colors.
I love all the products of Matrix.
Wonder Color,
Opticare.
आज मैट्रिक्स मेरी लाइफलाइन है। मैट्रिक्स इज ऑलवेज माय इंस्पिरेशन।
My mentor, my guru.
मेरो लागि एउटा परिवार जस्तो हो जो मेरो लाइफमा नभई नहुने।
Family.
আমার inspiration.
Fashionable and stylish.
हमारे ब्लड में मैट्रिक्स है। No one can beat Matrix.
Keep going.
Love you, Matrix.
Always 3 cheers for you.
Thank you and love you, Matrix.
थैंक यू मैट्रिक्स।
Thanks for being there.
Thank you, Matrix.
Think,
Believe.
dream.
Dad.
That was so sweet. You guys all make me emotional. I have missed interacting with you all so much. Talking to you, teaching you, but now is not the time to get sentimental. It is the time to get energized because coming up, we have everyone's favorite, the man who rocked Goa last year, celebrity stylist Philip Wolf. He is going to show you the secrets of one of the most popular hairstyles today, the lob. The cut of choice for all those women saying, "एक ही इंच से ज़्यादा नहीं काटना please, पर मेरा look change कर दो." Watch Wolf break down his signature lob haircut in 5 uncomplicated steps to achieve the perfect result every time.
How you doing, everyone? And welcome to I Lob It. That's right, we're going to talk about lobs today, and I'm going to go over the 4 to 5 step, 5th step being optional, steps to create your perfect lob. Now, obviously, there's not only one way to cut hair. There's not only one way to approach a haircut. However, I've broken it down into 4, and again, the optional 5th steps to create the perfect one for you and your client. Now, these steps are technical only, and meaning the physical parts of the cut and style. This is not sort of the build-up like the consultation or anything like that. We're going to assume that that is already taken care of. So the sort of pre-steps, if you will, by checking the patterns of the hair, the texture of the hair, the density of the hair, the face shape, neck, jawline, all of that. You want to look at that and sort of determine what you're going to do, or at least visualize your approach and the sort of end result that you are looking for and your client's looking for. And once you have that, then we get into it. So the first step being determining the length. So you want to determine a length as well as sort of the length with the sort of silhouette. Okay, you want to create a visual silhouette shape in your head. So by determining the length, you want to think about 3 things minimally. And that would be from the front view, from the side view, and of course from the back. Meaning this, well, I'm going to determine the length. Do I want to see a little more length in the front? Meaning slightly shorter in the back? Do I want it very exaggerated? Do I want it straight across and more blunt and sort of classic? Or maybe even longer in the back? I don't know. Maybe that's closer a little bit to a shagged type style, but you never know. Whatever you and the client are looking to do. So from there, you also think about, am I looking for volume? Am I looking for a sleek shape, a more wide shape? Do I want height and volume? Okay, so that's step 1. Step 2 would be the interior. So now you're going beyond the silhouette and you're going inside. So I'm creating shape now. I'm creating sort of the movement or lack thereof, you know. So you're either going to collapse weight, build weight, take away weight. All those things are within. So that sort of helps you determine what type of cutting as well, meaning the actual techniques. Am I going to use point cutting, slide cutting, notch cutting, brick cutting, whatever the heck it might be. And then the third step will be the detail cutting, okay? So the detail cutting would be sort of the enhancement cuts. You know, now that your basic foundation of a shape is built, it's going to be your details. It's going to be your all the things that are going to help enhance the look overall. And at the end of the day, give you versatility as well, if that is part of the look, which we will be doing today. And then the fourth step would be blow drying and styling. And that could end it there. You know, maybe they're not into using anything extra. They just want to blow dry or wash and wear and go, and that's great. So then you would just finish the job there, and that would be awesome. Use whatever finishing product you like and be done with it. And then there is the fifth step, where if you want to push it further and show off what else their hair can do or other styles they can do, it is the addition of finish, meaning you take it to the next level with some form of a hot tool, and then you go from there. Okay, let's get into it. Here we go. Step one, determine length and silhouette. So for myself, I'd like to see a little bit of length in the front, more so than in the back. So, not super crazy, but I want to see a little bit. So I'll show you how I would approach that. So we're going to start with cutting the length in the back. So here we go. And as you can see, I've already sectioned off the hair from front to back. And that's simply finding the high point of the head and then coming down to the, separating the front and back rather. All right. So what I'm going to do here is normally you're going to want to stand behind the client, but for demonstration purposes, I'm going to stand a little bit to the side. So grab your favorite shear. I'm going to use, of course, the wolf shear. And here we go. I'm going to comb straight down, and I'm going to cut towards the middle here. See that? So you want to split this in two, and I'm going to direct the hair down, zero elevation, and then sort of turn the comb a little so that I'm cutting square. And I am slightly over directing this a little bit. You see, I'm not doing it here. I'm doing it there, remember, because normally you'd be standing right behind the client. And also, I'm going to be using a bit of a point cut technique. And as I do this, I'm going to do sort of medium to larger point cuts, and I'm going to point my shears towards the center, just like this. This is going to help me give a little bit of direction at the perimeter here. And this also gives me a bit of softness, which is nice. This will sort of keep it a modern feel to it where it's not too blunt. It'll definitely be a strong shape. We're not going overboard, but just a little bit there. See that? So from there, we have cut the length. And if you need to go in and sort of touch it up, if there's some loose pieces, that's fine. Go in there, boom. And from here, we're now going to go to the other side and do the same thing. And this time, of course, pointing in towards the center from this side. So let me move over here. Very good. And remember, combing it straight down, zero elevation, and square. Okay? So from here, very good. Pointing towards the center, ever so slightly. There we go. And I'm going to continue on, so grab the whole thing in towards the center. Make sure we're holding the fingers square, just like that. Let's check. Very good. And point cut. And of course, the tips of the shears pointed towards the center. And this just gives a great direction, you know. So that way, sort of both sides sort of directionally go towards the front, because we are creating a slightly shorter to longer shape. So from here, I'm just going to double check so I don't give you too much on my back. We're going to check for balance. All right, very good. Wow, not bad for cutting it on the side there. All right. Very nice. So from here, I'm going to just drop the side, just like that. And from here, I want to comb this downward and then over direct over. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. Comb it downward and then direct it over at a slight angle here, and I'm going to continue the point cuts into the length that was created in the back, and then this gives us a slightly longer feel towards the front. And again, follow that same pattern of pointing the tips of the shears towards the center, okay? So when you are finished with that, it should look something like this. See, if we, here, this is sort of the other side, don't pay attention to that. But as you can see, it's slightly longer towards the front, ever so slightly. And believe me, these little details make such a difference, okay? So when you look at it towards the front, you can see here, there's a bit of extra length there, okay? And same thing with the left side. So I'm just gonna simply take this and comb it down and then swing it over towards the back, just like this, boom. And then match that up to the length on the back. You see that? When I drop it, look at that, slightly longer towards the front. And this is exactly what you want. Just like that. And, you know, if you want to go through later and take a look, just making sure there's no, you know, extra humps of hair, just sort of clean that up. You can also do that towards the end, you know, as long as you get your basic feel, you're good to go. You know, remember, all that stuff comes in the fine-tune cutting, and that would be in step 3, okay? So here we go. Now we have a little bit of extra length towards the front. This is great. So now we get into, you can check for balance as well. Ooh, okay. All right, hold on, let me do that again. Ooh, it's a little longer here, that's okay. Well, that's why we check these things. Very nice. Okay, so now from here, step 2, which is now that we go past the silhouette, we want to go into the interior now. So we're going to talk about layering. Now, do we face frame? Do we not? Maybe we like heavy and no layers in the front. However, I'm going to do a little bit. Okay, now this is where it gets tricky here, and you gotta think about this here. Because we are going with a shorter to longer here, and it generally will stop around that ear, you don't want to chop out too much, because then ultimately you lose the idea of shorter to longer. It will not show that. So all we're going to do is slightly carve out a little bit of face framing here. This just gives you just enough that when you curl or blow dry, it gives you just enough of that to sort of go away from the face. So I'm going to do that on both sides. We're going to lightly carve out the face framing. So I'm going to stand sort of in front of the client like this, okay? And we're going to go about to the ear. And actually, we're not going to cut that far back. So let's go ahead and leave sort of where the sideburn hair would be, okay? Let's leave that, okay? We're not going to cut in towards that. And remember, we have a little bit more of an extra length towards the front, so let's make sure we keep some of this too. So we're almost creating a C curvature here. So all I'm doing here is combing it down, natural fall, so you can see it's natural fall, a little bit to the side, but you know, I'm not over directing crazy, just sort of right at where the part would be. And I'm going to carve out downwards, carve out the C curvature, okay? So here we go. I'm going to slightly turn her. There we go. And again, just like this, okay? And then I'm not going to go so high with it. I'm going to give just a very slight carve. So I'm going to start below the chin and slowly carve this out. And this will keep my little hook of extra long hair, but this just gives you that little tease of some layers in the front, which is great. So here we go. This allows you some fun versatility. You see this? So we do have a little bit of face framing, but look, we don't lose that hook of extra length towards the front. See that? And so we're going to do the same thing on the left side. So again, around towards the ear there. And you know, there's less hair here since we're parting it over to the right. So let's go ahead and comb straight down. And again, not a lot of over directing or anything. Natural fall. And then, see, we have a little piece from the other side as our guide. Carve out. So here we go. You ready? Slightly carve out. And you see that? You want to leave that extra hook there. See? So I'm not chopping it off like this. I'm just simply carving it out so we have a little something to show as far as face framing. And this really shows out when you go to blow dry or when you go to add some waves or something like that. So here we go. See that? It's a very subtle move, but very effective. Okay, so from here, let's go into the layering. Okay, so here we go. High point again. We want to lift some layering towards the crown. So, and at this point, I'm going to lower her down a little bit because we want to concentrate on the crown. There we go. And there we go. Okay, so from here, what we want to do is a center profile section. And again, we're still on step 2 because this is going to the interior, the layering. So step 2, okay? And every now and then that happens. And then we just pick it right back up, see? Okay, here we go. Let me lift it up a little bit just so you can see everything. All right. Very nice. Okay, so from here, we're going to go 90 degrees from the crown, and then we are going to cut parallel to the floor, okay? So let's take that middle one. I use the high tension side of the comb. And again, right there, 90 degrees, and then, boop, parallel to the floor. And now look at this. You see that dead hair there? We're going to create a brand new shape, soft point cutting. Okay? And even though this is point cutted, look at this. It's a soft line, but it is straight, parallel to the ground, okay? And then from here, I like to do, and some of you might be familiar with this, but the double lift. And the double lift means I do exactly the same distribution and elevation, but look how thick that is. I want to create a little bit more softness. So from here, I'm not cutting shape. I'm actually dipping a little bit into step 3, okay? Because why not? So this is just to soften the ends. You see that? A little bit more see-through there. That adds a little extra something. And then as you can see, very soft layering there. But if you comb it down, there are no weight lines. Very nice. So we're going to go in and pie shape this all the way till the last section behind the ear. So I'm going to continue on here and continue cutting. And again, remember, 90 degrees from the crown, and then soft point cutting first. Re-elevate, redistribute the exact same way, double lift point cut. This time it's deeper in, and you're going way more parallel to the hair because we're not cutting for shape, we're cutting for texture, softness, okay? Now we're at right behind the ear. So what we're going to do here is slightly over direct to the previous, because ultimately we are keeping length towards the front, so we want to maintain that throughout the layering as well. So I'm going to continue with this, the soft point cut, and from here you're going to find that you may not need to do as much behind the ear because there's less weight. So there you go, I didn't do as much. Now as you comb this out and you see it, you can start seeing this shape build this way like that, and that's a good thing. So from here I'm going to pause and go to the other side, okay? So again, 90 degrees out. Let's get the clean sections here, very nice. 90 degrees from the crown, parallel to the floor, soft point cut out, okay? Double lift, more parallel to the ground, or excuse me, more parallel to the hair, so that we get more separation on the ends. You see that? Boom, boom. And now this last section here, we're going to over direct back one, just to that previous one that we did. Okay, there we go, there's that. Soft point cut. Okay, and then, again, you probably won't do much, but just a little bit of the double lift point cutting. There we go, see? All right, so we're done with the back now, okay? For the most part, for the shape. Now we just have these two big pieces on the sides. So here's the heavy side, because this is the side we parted the hair on, is towards the right. So I'm gonna take that whole entire section right down to the ear and over direct all of that back to the ear. So I'm pushing it all the way towards the ear. And mind you, I'm standing in front of the client at this point because I'm maintaining short to long, meaning my cutting stance. So here we go. All right. And we're not going to do the double lift point cut towards the front because there's less weight at the bottom anyways. So here we go. You see that? Now we just connected the sides in, and here we go here. There we have it. Now the whole shape is done. Now we go in with the detail cutting, step number 3. Now step number 4 is pretty much done because it is already blow dried. So here we go. We're going to take this, elevate it up, flip it over, and add a little bit of extra soft texturizing by using the texture shear here, just like so. Boom. And then same with the other side. A little bit there. Let's go ahead and add some extra towards the crown here. So I'm actually going to take the whole entire section here, and I'm going to now elevate the hair and direct it the opposite way. This is where over direction plays a huge role. So normally we would direct the hair that way, but I'm going to direct the hair all the way towards the front, like so. And this creates extra support underneath those layers. And then, voila, you have your extra bump in the crown. Okay? So let's use the blow dryer to wipe out the extra hair here. There we go. I'm just going to do a quick little zhuzh with the blow dryer here. There's one side, and then there's the other, and there we go. Now the fifth step would be you could add some iron work, but otherwise this is a very fun lob here, and as you can see, we've kept that longer towards the front ever so slightly. A little bit of soft layering throughout to give a little bit of volume, and the face frame. All right. Thank you very much.
Did you love the lob? Did you take a lot of screenshots? Don't forget to tag Matrix India when you post on Facebook and Insta to get featured on our social wall. You know, the lob is one cut that every pro stylist must master. And I'm sure all of you are going to be perfecting your lob skills very soon. But before that, do answer our next quiz question, for there are 200 Matrix backpacks to be won. What haircut did Philip just show you? Bob, layered bob, lob, or one length? That was quite the masterclass. Philip made the lob look so easy to create and yet so stylish. I'm all pumped up to see the other masterclasses. What about you? Before we further strengthen our minds, here is a fun session with Master Pilates trainer and nutritionist Radhika. Radhika has been in the fitness business for over 12 years and has her own studios in Mumbai. She's here today to make you feel all pepped up and full of energy.
Hi, my name is Radhika. There's so much to learn here on Matrix M Day. But before we move on to the next sessions, let's get you woken up a little bit. So here we go. We're going to get you to stay focused, stay moving, but most importantly, have fun. We're gonna start first with a little eye exercise. You spent a lot of time behind your device, on your laptop, your mobile device, where the light is burning into your eyes. Let's get those eyes moving and get them relaxed a little bit as well. Sit up really nice and tall. सोचो कि आपके सर के ऊपर हमने एक चाय का कप रखा है. Keep that chai really steady. Now, with your hands relaxed on your lap, close your eyes nice and tight, and then open them up nice and wide. We close the eyes and open them. Breathe in as you close, breathe out as you open. Make it a nice wide opening up, and breathe out. 4 more times. Making that sound as you breathe out. Follow along with me. 1 more time. And you should feel your eyes a little bit more relaxed now. Now from here, we're going to do a little mind-body connection exercise. As hairdressers, hairstylists, and hair technicians, you spend a lot of time using your hands. But now, we're going to connect your hands with your mind. Bring your hands in front of you. Open your fingers out nice and wide. Now from here, we're going to bring on the right hand your pinky finger and your thumb together. On the opposite left hand, we'll bring the index finger and your thumb together. We're going to travel across through the fingers till we reach this position, but on the opposite side. Stay focused and watch me first as I do this, and then we'll all do it together. So, thumb and pinky finger, index finger and thumb. Yahan se, traveling across, we go tap, tap, tap. Opposite side. And tap, 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 and tap. Whoops, opposite side. Stay focused. Here we go. Everyone together. Tap, tap, and tap, and tap, and tap, and tap, and tap. Opposite side. And I've not practiced this in a while, so I need to stay focused. Now, as you get better and better with this exercise, we start to increase the speed. The increasing in the speed is really going to keep that mind and body connected. Let's move on now to a little bit of movement through our shoulders and our spines. Again, you guys spend a lot of time standing and rolled over. Right now, you must have spent the last hour or so hunched over. Let's open up that back and those shoulders. So again, relax your shoulders, keep your neck long. Hands can be relaxed down by your sides. We're going to roll those shoulders back. Roll them back for 5 and 4 and 3. Roll 2. Keep following along with me. And 1. Now from here, we're going to add in a little bit of spinal movement to this. I'm going to show you my profile from the side so you can see what my back is doing. We breathe in, pull the shoulders back, lift the heart up, nazar ko upar le lenge. And we breathe out. Come back to your starting position. Breathe in, heart up, shoulders back. Breathe out, return. Imagine now that someone has put cement on your hips. So you can't sit back, you can't sit forward, sit up nice and tall. Breathe in, let's do that 5 more times. And center. And 4, and center. 3, back to center. 1 last one. And center. Now, from here, we're going to take it into a few specialized exercises that I have created just for you. I'm a Pilates master trainer, and Pilates is a form of movement that really focuses on your core. Your core are muscles that help to support your lower back. So again, as hairdressers and hair technicians and hairstylists, you spend a lot of time on your feet. When you're standing, lower back पे बहुत pressure आता है, and so these exercises are going to help to take that pressure off of your lower back and keep your back nice and strong and steady. I hope you enjoy these exercises. Get ready to follow along with me. So we're going to start in a standing position now, and these exercises, like I said, have been specially created for you. Let's first start with lateral breathing. We're going to place the hands on the last 3 or 4 ribs of your rib cage. Thumbs are in the back. Imagine your rib cage is like an umbrella. As you breathe in from your nose, open up that umbrella. And as you breathe out from your mouth, close the umbrella, draw the belly button in. Make those abdominals nice and tight. And again, breathe in and breathe out. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, this breathing is really important. Keep this breathing in mind as we go into all the movements. तो यहाँ से बाकी के movements इसी breathing के साथ होगा. Let's go now into a little bit of extension to open up the front of your body and strengthen the back of your body. I'm going to give you a side view so you can see how I'm moving. Feet are parallel. We're going to reach the arms up overhead, shoulders relaxed. So don't lift your shoulders up towards your ears. Follow along with me now. We're going to step the right foot back, and now we're going to reach the heart up, reach the leg back, breathe in, tap, come back to your starting position. As you lift and reach, focus on not letting the back arch. Keep your hip bones pointing straight in front. Let's try that 4 times. We breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, lift the heart, breathe out. Think about squeezing through the back of the leg, pull the belly button in. 4, and 3, and 2, one more. Switch to the other side. A little bit of balance also involved here. Step the foot back, draw the abdominals in, lift the arms up, लेकिन shoulders को मत उठाइएगा, shoulders को एकदम relax रखो. Remember, we're opening up the front, but we're strengthening the back. We breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Now here, as you do this, if you have a hard time with balance, अगर आपका balance ऊपर नीचे हो रहा है, then you can keep the foot down and just lift up. यहाँ पे भी ठीक है. And 4, 3, pull the belly button in, 2, and 1. Feel the back of your body getting energized while you feel a nice big stretch to the front. Now we're going to take it into a little exercise that involves strengthening those abdominals. Reach those arms out by your sides, and we're going to step the right foot out. We bring elbow to the knee and we lift up. Watch me first, follow along. Here we go, a little bit of balance and a little bit of ab work. Again, focus on keeping your hip bones bilkul samne, so don't let your hips turn up. We reach elbow to knee and out. Breathe out, breathe in. If you can do this slowly, now follow along with me, it's better. The slower you go, the more control you have. And breathe out, and in. And 3, reach. 2, reach. Remember to do it with a smile on your face. And 1, switch to the other side. Step the leg out. Keep the spine nice and long to begin with. Reach your arms out. Shoulders are not here, they're here. And we reach elbow to knee. Hip bones pointing in front. Here we go, everyone. And 6, reach. 5, and reach. Now remember your breathing. And 3, and 2, and 1, and reach. Again, if you have trouble with the balance, you can always keep the foot down and simply do the movement here. This is also fine as long as the hips are staying pointing forwards. And now, one more here. This exercise is really powerful for the back muscles again, and it's going to really help you mobilize your spine. We reach the arms down by the sides. Lift the right arm up close to the ear. Shoulders stay relaxed. Breathe in, reach over to the side. As you reach over to the side, keep the weight equal on your feet. तो दोनों पैरों पे equal वजन होना चाहिए. Again, hip bones pointing forwards. Breathe out, rotate to the floor. Again, don't move your hips, keep them pointing forwards. Breathe in, to the side. Breathe out, rotate up to the ceiling. Back to the side, and all the way back up to your starting position. Opposite side. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, this time down to the floor, up and over, together. Breathe in, follow along, feel that spine really moving, up, upar, vapas side ko, and all the way up. Last one, up, rotate, side, up, side, and all the way up. I hope you're feeling a little bit more energized, a little bit awake, and ready to focus back onto your next sessions of learning. Have fun, take care.
Feel all pepped up and full of energy? Ready to have your mind and hair blown by Philip? Type BOOM in the reaction box. Yes, the Wolf is going to show you how to give every Indian woman what she wants from a stylist in the festive season. The perfect blow dry. What to do, what not to do. How to manage different types of hair. Pay attention as Philip Wolf reveals his secrets and answer the question that follows to win cool Matrix merchandise.
How you doing, everyone? Welcome to Vavoom Blowout. This is where we're going to go over some of my favorite blowout techniques. And we have our mannequin here. It is already wet down. I'm going to go over some of the do's and don'ts and some of my favorite ways to approach voluminous blow drying. Now, one of the first things we want to do is make sure, obviously, that the hair is wet. Once it's wet, we want to go in and look at the patterns of growth in the hair. We want to look at the density. We want to look at the texture of the hair. And also, by this time, we have already consulted and figured out what type of look we're going for. So today, we have a little bit of a soft layered haircut with a little bit of face framing. So what we're going to do is enhance that, adding a little lift at the root and just enough movement and bounce to the rest of it to give it a nice, beautiful look. Okay, so also based on the texture and the growth pattern, you want to add your favorite products that you feel will work with this type of look. So I have done that here, okay, and it's already prepped and ready to go. Now, the next thing you want to do is brush selection. It is definitely amazing to have a full arsenal, okay? This is very important. You know, I know we all have our go-to brush that we go to, but you know what? One brush can't do it all. So it is okay to have your arsenal here. And this is just a basic arsenal for me, but you know, you want to have your small, medium, large, extra large, and also different brushes within in terms of the bristles. Now, you want to have your vented and nylon. You want to have your boar bristle. You want to have your small boar bristle or boar bristle and nylon mix, which is one of my favorites. Now, generally speaking, you want to use the nylon brushes with the vent if you want to speed dry and get through tons of hair where you can comb through it really easily. If you're looking for more tension and a little bit of extra shine, especially with that frizzy or even curly hair and coarser textures, it's great to use one of these. Now, one of the favorite things that I like to do, and this happens very often, is I will use a multiple amounts of brushes per head. Okay, so many times you'll see me using 2, sometimes even 3 different brushes. Now, I'll give you an example. Let's say you have a fringe Well, maybe I'll use this. I need that little flick at the corner of the cheekbones there. Well, I need a littler brush to give me that. But obviously I'm not going to blow dry the whole head with this, so then I'll switch to another size. So I'm going to break this down into a few different techniques. And then the blow dry I'm going to use is quite loud, so I'll be demonstrating that, won't be talking, and then I'll come back and I'll be talking again. So, ready? Here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose this one. This is a medium size round brush, and as you can see, this is about a medium length. So what I'm going to do here is what I call the hook and pull. This is what you're going to do directly from the hair being combed back and slightly damp and product already in it. This is going to give me the initial bump at the roots that I'm looking for. So what I'm going to do is I call it the hook and pull. So I put it right at the hairline, slide back, and I hook and pull. So basically, I am sliding back, rolling back, and pulling forward at the same time. Right here, this gives that tension and that volume there. Mixed with high heat, and you've got volume. So what I'm going to do is follow the whole entire hairline. That means right up here into the sides and into the nape and all the way around to build that initial amount of volume at the roots. And from there, we'll go to the next step. Here we go. And one more thing to add. What you don't want to do, because there are the don'ts, you don't want to do this hook and pull and then blow dry and stay there for more than about 2 to 3 seconds. If you stay here for too long, what's going to happen is you're going to make an indented line that you won't be able to get out unless you re-wet the hair again. So my advice is to go in, hook and pull, and once you get to about 2 seconds, slightly start to pull away. This way, it softens that bump and you won't get any harsh lines in the hair. All right, here we go. And already you can see that volume is starting to happen right here. Look at that. You can see the volume compared to this side. So I'm just going to continue. Also, don't worry, it may start to look like a kind of bit of a mess, you know, that it's going to look all crazy and big, but just remember, we're building volume here, and at the end of the day, because of gravity, we can almost never make it too big because gravity will take its toll and then it'll start to fall. So, when it comes to volume, don't be afraid of over-exaggerating. I'm just going to go ahead and do the back part of the nape here, as you can see. Watch this. All right, now at the very, very nape, I'm just pulling just to get that hair straight, but I'm not necessarily getting volume there because we're not looking to get volume right at the nape. So, all right. Here we go. As you can already see, we've got tons of volume here. But now, what do we got to do? We got to go all on the inside of it. So from here, I'm just going to use my hands, and I'm going to pull the hair with my fingertips. And then use the nozzle and go right at the root and pull it out away from the head. So once I do a bit of this, and if need be, and the hair's a little frizzy, you can go ahead after that and use your brush to help do the hook and pull method all the way around the top section and even on the sides. Here we go. Another key area is right at the crown, so I'm going to hook and pull there. And there we go. So now we've got our base going. But look at the rest of the hair. It's kind of crazy. It's all over the place. Well, that's totally fine, because from here, we're going to break it down into sections. And I'm going to switch now to the bigger brush, because now we're just looking for a smooth finish with only a little bit of bend on the end. So I'm going to explain what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go ahead and just section off the sides. So you can see here, that's a fairly clean section there, okay? Now, if you want to use clips, go for it. I'm not going to, but you can. And I'm going to take a section about the width of the brush. See? Boom, boom. That's about right. And again, I'm going to concentrate on the first third of the hair. Then I'm going to move to the mid shafts, and then I'll finish off with the ends. And remember, I'm using a lot of tension and the nozzle really close to get that heat and tension, to get that control and movement from the brush. Here we go. And there we have the first section. Now, you can choose obviously which side you want to go. I'm going to go with a parting on this side. So I'm just going to go with this side here. So I'm going to take my next section, same thing. I'm going to blow dry towards myself, but rolling backwards, okay? And then start to roll it to the side. Okay, here we go. Now, what you want to remember is as I'm rolling backwards but pulling forwards, I'm always returning to on base. And on base, as we know from beauty school, means on the base of the section, okay? So as see this, I'm pulling towards me, but I'm rolling backwards so that it ends up on base. Maximum volume. Here we go. See, at this point, I'm changing it to cold air now to lock in this volume here. And as I release this, you can clearly see here, now it's really starting to, let me raise this up a little bit. It's really starting to come alive here, okay? Just like that. So I'm going to continue on to the left side. Well, actually, not yet. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do one of my signature moves, which is the crown. What I like to do with the crown is this. I take the crown area, and again, treat it like any other section. I want to go ahead and hit the roots at the back, front, mid shafts, ends. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it cool over top of the face. So here we go. And why? Because I allow the hair to cool down, and then when I'm done, I push it back, and then we have locked in volume right from the root. can see, I roll it over and just let it cool off here. Now I'm going to move to the side and do the same thing. And now you're going to see, once I did the top crown, I'm going to continue in sections like this. So I want to get one more area where there's more volume here. So again, take sections no bigger than the width of the brush and continue, starting at the root. And let it rest forward. If you need to tilt the head a little bit to make sure that your section stays forward, that's fine. Or you can even, of course, use a clip. Now, for here, I'm just gonna smooth it out, not too much volume. Now I'm going to continue to the other side. Make sure I get every last bit here. So I'm going to go right there. Let me raise her up a little bit. There we go. Action. Okay, so now what we want to do is, once you're pretty much finished, you want to allow the hair to cool a little bit. If you don't have time for that, you just simply use the cold air . And what I'm doing here is I'm making sure I'm getting the cool air all over the hair, into the roots, throughout the whole entire blow dry, so that I'm sealing down the cuticle and locking in the style of the look. And then from this point, you just use your hands to push it the way you need. And then if you need to touch up any little area, you can always do that. Let's go ahead and crank her all the way up here. Oh, well, that's about as high as that goes. So here we go. And then, now we have a nice, bouncy, voluminous, and sexy blow dry. Va-voom.
Vavoom! That looks stunning. I hope you've been taking notes because you will be making a lot of clients very happy with that. And now let's find out how carefully you were listening with this question. What is the blow dry technique that Philip used on the roots? Blast dry technique, hook and pull technique, flat to the head technique, or the paddle brush technique? Are you ready to learn more? Our next masterclass is with George Papanikolas, who will show you the art of foliage, a coloring technique like the balayage, with a hair color applied in waves just like hair painting on hair. George is a celebrity stylist and has worked with some of the most famous international celebs. He is going to share his signature foliage technique, how he can apply color in just 30 minutes. Watch closely as we will be giving away Matrix tote bags with a question that follows.
Hey guys, I'm George Papanikolas, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my most requested salon technique, which is the balayage TZ Light combo. Now, one of the reasons why this technique is so popular is that we've seen it on so many celebrities, from Hailey Baldwin, Hannah Jeter, the Kardashians. It's so much out there on the red carpet and in tabloids and magazines. But the other thing is that it has a really universally flattering end result. So it works for blondes, brunettes, redheads. You can dial it up, you can dial it down. There's so many variations you can play with it. But what I love it is because it's really fast and easy. The way I'm going to show you guys, it's a quick technique. It's not going to take up a lot of time, but it's going to give you a really big impact that the clients want. Because we all know the clients are patient, but they don't want to come in for multiple appointments to get this look. They want those Instagram-worthy balayage tips. And this technique is going to be a really quick and fast, easy way to get it. So what's really popular about it is that it's really seamless. You can see my transition with this color. It's really, really soft from the root, gradually getting thicker and heavier as we move down the hair shaft. Now, the way we achieve this is by first starting with the freehand technique. So let's get right into it. So the freehand techniques I love because they're really seamless. You can control the application, and you can go more delicate at the root, gradually getting thicker and heavier as you move down the hair shaft. That's really important for that seamless blended look without having to use a toner. So to create this, I'm going to use Matrix Lightmaster. Now, one of the reasons why I like Lightmaster is that it's super powerful. That's one thing, if anyone who's done balayage, you don't want to get stuck at orange. And Lightmaster will help you get there. Now, the other things you're going to need is to use the highest volume developer. So we're using 40 volume. Because it's in open air, you need that extra lift. You need that extra power. Now, my mixing ratio for the balayage is 1:1. 1 scoop to 1 ounce developer. I like that yogurty texture. That's gonna give me a free-flowing consistency that makes it really workable on the hair. Now, first place that we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on 3 main areas. The 3 areas that are really important, not only for celebrities, but for every client, is the face frame, the natural part, and the ends. Now, why do I say it's not only for celebrities? Because when they get photographed, that's usually what they see, but also with your clients, those are the areas where, you know, they're gonna look in the mirror. That's what they're gonna see. They're gonna take selfies, and that's where they're gonna notice it. So if you can target those areas, you're gonna have a happy client. So starting with the face frame, we're taking this entire section of the face frame right here, and that's where we're gonna start working. Now, I don't like to have anything hard at the root. I like it all to be super soft. So what I do is we're gonna just keep a very sheer amount of product on your tint brush. And you wanna use a small, you know, detailing brush to work with. And I start a little bit further down the hair and feather your way up. That kind of saves you. If you start a little bit further down the hair shaft, it allows you to play with the hair, to work with it, get a little bit, you know, more delicate as you move up. But it's all those little baby hairs you wanna be able to get if you take the time and just really, really target that area. So you can see I'm starting a little bit further down, working my way up, keeping it super soft, really delicate. And then you want to take these all the way down. So you're going to go all the way down through the ends. And you can go a little bit thicker and heavier as you move down. Okay, so that's our face frame. Now you're going to do this all around the hair. Now you can continue on by, you know, having this horseshoe pattern, and I'll show you how I did my sectioning. The reason I do this horseshoe pattern is because I want to work in a horizontal pattern. The horizontal pattern, if you think about it this way, is that if you work vertically, you're going down, the highlights are going to disappear into the hair. If you go to diagonal, you're going to get a more blended effect. Now, when you work horizontal, that's going to give you the maximum impact. That's where you're going to get that pop. So you can work this way around the hair, keep highlighting. But for most of my brunettes, I usually, you know, you can start stacking your way up. You know, and for my brunettes, I usually do about 2 layers. With my blondes, we'll do multiple layers. You can start here, go up an inch, go another inch, and then you want to end up with your natural part as your last section. So let's say we're here with a brunette, so we're going to find her natural part. So let's say that's her middle. So you're going to find that section, and we're going to work from there. And you want to have it clean lines, make sure it's falling in. A lot of times clients will ask, like, well, I don't have a natural part. You want to pick one, because that's going to be, you know, the most impactful and pop right there. So you want to get that contrast. And it's important not to lose that dimension. So they really almost have to pick one and make that, you know, their ideal area. So we're going to be working with this little face framer piece right here. And now with these sections, you're not going to be going all the way down. The reason is that we're going to be doing the teasy lights over it. So we want to have hair left that we can back comb over. So now with this one, you're going to want to work also similarly with the face frame, except with this one, we're going to do almost like little V shapes. Start a little bit further down the hair and work your way up, getting more delicate as you get towards the root. And again, the product is very, very sheer. I'm working with the side of my brush and I'm feathering it as I go up. So starting in the mid shaft, working your way up, keeping it really delicate and really soft. And you can go a little bit heavier as you go through the mids, but as you get towards the root, it's really important keeping it soft and delicate. So now we got our first section right here. And now we're gonna just keep working around the head as we go. Now these V shapes, the reason I like the V shapes is that it creates that blend. You know, you get that graduation of color. You know, you want to have have some dimension in there, but you don't want to have a hard stripe from the root. For me, like whenever I see hard stripes like that, it makes me cringe. So you want to just make sure that everything at the root area should be soft and seamless and blended, and keep it really, really delicate. But the mids is where you can go a little bit heavier and thicker. So you can work your way up, getting a little bit more delicate at the root and creating these V shapes as you work up the hair. All right, so you can see how we've worked with these V's right now. We're working these all the way around. So I'm going to show you one where we've actually done the whole thing already, but I want to just do one more section just so you guys get a good view of how I'm doing this. And you can see there's barely any product on the brush. I don't use a ton of product. If you go really heavy, you're going to get heavy, hard stripes, and that's not the goal here. We want to keep everything very seamless, very blended. And you want each section that you take, comb it out. Make sure it's a flat surface. You want to be working on a very flat surface as you're working with this. So you're going to start from the mids and feather your way up as you go. So we got this done, and you're gonna do this all the way around the head. So I will show you another mannequin head. We'll use another one. So this one I've done it all the way around. So this one's just already fully processed. We've let this one process about 50 minutes. So each client is gonna be a little bit different. With brunettes, you're gonna have it a little bit longer. The usual time is about 20 to 50 minutes for this to process. So you can see we've done it, this is like the part right here. This is the whole section. And with her, I only did the natural part. But again, if you want to do that horseshoe pattern, you can do a layer underneath, 2 layers, 3 layers. If it's blondes, you'll do multiple layers. Redheads and brunettes, I like to keep more of their natural color. And I'll show you again with this other one, why I like to keep their natural color, because with this, you want to have a lot of negative space in there. That's gonna let your highlights really pop. And you can see if I lift this section, there's a lot of darkness there. That's a good thing. That's gonna give you that shadow. It's gonna give you that dimension. It's gonna give you that contrast. It's also gonna make it more sophisticated and cooler. When somebody just goes in and highlights everything, then you really weren't strategic at all. You just kind of highlight it all over the place. So for me, I like that light and dark, that playfulness. That's what makes it really cool and modern. So we've done the first step, the freehand balayage. We've let it process now 20 to 50 minutes. So to save us time, we're gonna go through and we're gonna balayage our TZ lights over this first step of balayage. So with this one, again, we're gonna be working in a horizontal pattern. So we're gonna start from the back, and you're gonna wanna have 2 teasing combs. These are the ones that I like. There's a fine tooth and a wide tooth. They're both cricket. And the reason I like this is like depending on the hair texture and how tight you want to go, you can do that. Now, the way I approach my TZ lights is I take really large sections, and I also am working in a horizontal pattern with these. So the reason I take large sections is because you want to have that seamless graduation. So if you take tiny little sections and tease it, you're still going to get a hard highlight. If you take a large section, back home a large part of the hair, now you're gonna get that soft blend. That's what the big sections do. So we're gonna start by really only doing 4 in the back and about 3 on the side. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but trust me, because you're taking these large sections and because you're working in a horizontal pattern, you're gonna get a really maximum impact. So with here we can see, I'm just splitting her hair. Here's like the back of it. I'm gonna just split that section in half. All right, so we're gonna take the section right here, split this whole thing in half, and it's about the bottom quarter of the back of her head. And you wanna pull it out, horizontally, and you wanna back comb the hair into a fine slice. And you wanna just get it in there as tight as you can. The reason I'm going so tight is that you want to have more room that you can highlight. If your back comb starts all the way down here, now you're only going to have this tiny little tip to highlight. So you want to make sure there's enough hair to highlight. So then you're going to take the foils, and we are going to be applying V-shapes into the foils. Now the reason we're doing the V-shapes is we don't want any hard lines. if you went in and you highlighted straight down, you're gonna get a hard line. But by doing the V shapes, you're gonna get a nice, soft blend. So now, we're gonna go in and we're gonna paint these V shapes. Now these V shapes are super important because that's what's gonna be those, Instagram worthy blonde pops. These are the things the girls see on Instagram when they come in. And yes, you can create this from the freehand, but it's usually gonna take about 2 to 3 appointments to get as light as I can get her in one session in a foil. And that's because the hair is isolated, it has a chance to really, really process and lift. And with the bonder inside, it really, really allows you to really push the max out of the hair without worrying about damaging it. So you can see this V shape that we painted. Now the V's are what are gonna be creating that beautiful tips on the hair. So we started with this one first, and I usually like to put another foil on top of it because we don't want to have any spotting. If you folded this in half, this layer could hit that and then you get a spot. You want to try to keep everything as blended and beautiful as possible. And if the hair is really long, add a second foil. Just keep the V's, really, really beautiful and exaggerated. All right, so we got one foil down. Now we're going to do the same thing with this one. Now we're doing the same, deep, tight back comb. And you're going to go right over it. Do the V shape again. And you're probably wondering, wait a minute, he hasn't rinsed out the first section. No, I haven't. At this point, the lightener has turned into powder. It's fully processed. If you find that it's, after that much time, if you had a heavier application, that your lightener is still wet, you can go over it with a blow dryer, make sure it's dry, because I'm going to show you what we're going to do in the next section. We're going to back comb right over the first step. So again, we did the V shape here. You can see how seamless and beautiful that is. And you can see what's going to happen. You can see, those blended tips that you can see how it's going to lift up. All right, so this is the fun part. This is the part that's actually the time-saving part because you haven't had to shampoo this first section out. We're just going to tease right over it. So again, you're going to go from just right behind the ear, and you're probably seeing I'm skipping a big section of hair. That's that negative space. That's our shadow. So you want to keep some darkness in there. So I've done 2 so far in the back, on the bottom, and now these are the 2 on top that I'm going to take. And I'm kind of just going to stack these on top of each other. And you see there's the lighteners on top. There was a previous highlight that we did before. So I'm going to just tease right over because it's powder at this point, so it's totally fine. It's not going to do anything in spot. So again, pulling the hair horizontally from the head, and you're going to back comb down really, really tight. And you want to keep it so that there's a really sheer slice. If you leave too much hair in the foil, you're not going to get enough lift. And people think with this technique 4 foils is not going to be enough. It actually surprisingly will. If their hair is really thick or if they have a lot of layering, then you can go in and add more. But honestly, I'd say 4 to 5 in the back and 3 to 4 on each side is plenty. You're going to get a lot of impact by taking these larger sections. So you can see we have a fine slice. You want to be able to almost see through the slices. You want them to be very, very sheer. That's really important. Like I said, if you have too much hair in there, it's just going to get stuck at orange. So we're doing another V. And this section's smaller. It's not as wide as the lower sections were. So it's going to be more like a mini V. So you're going to work with that, over here. You really want to saturate, especially down at the bottom. But you're noticing I'm feathering it up. But you want to make sure because it's so thin, it will get fully penetrated through the hair. But these ends, you really, really want to saturate. So you can see we did another V right here. And now the part that I like the most is those little face framers. These are the money shots. These are the ones, again, these are the ones the clients notice the most. So we're going to take those, are going to be much smaller sections, and we're going to take them really, really tight. So with this one, you're going to just take this section right here. You see how we've already highlighted it, and you can see how that's already, the streaks are in there. So we're going to take this, and we're going to just back comb right over it. And you want to take it super, super tight, because the closer you can go to the scalp, the lighter you're going to get this highlight, and that V is what's really going to pop. And you're going to just go in and do like a little mini V right here. And that little mini V is going to be your money shot. This is going to be the piece that the client notices the most. All right, so you can see we got this little V right here. So we're going to just seal that one up. And you're going to do these all the way around the head. So you can see in my last mannequin head, I've done the full foil. So with this one, we can see how there's like the little money pieces up front. I've got two on top, but with the shadow underneath. This is the shadow right here. And in the back, we have the 4. So we have the 4 with the shadow. The shadow is really important. Make sure you save these. 2 on each side plus the face framers. So those are going to really complete the look, and you're doing these both, back to back. So timing wise, the way I usually do it is 15 minutes for the first application and then 30 minutes for the second application. But you got to give yourself a break in between, about 20 to 50 minutes to make sure that first step fully processes. But the end result is going to give you this gorgeous balayage, and that's what the clients want. All right, hope you guys enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's results.
Did you enjoy that? Show us some love with hearts in the reaction box. Now, before you start dreaming of doing foliage with our Spice Mocha range, answer our next quiz question. What is the effect of doing a freehand technique? Seamless effect, frosted highlights, chunky highlights, or baby lights? It's been a day full of excitement, like many days at your salon. I'm sure days when you spent all day on your feet, rushing from client to client, from cut to color. How do you chill on days like this? How do you make sure you enjoy every moment? Well, first, put on some music.
Hey everyone, we are Raga Trippin'! And we are very excited to be here performing for you at Matrix M Day. We are going to perform some of our favorite songs with an a cappella twist. 5 voices, 0 instruments.
A cappella? जी हाँ, there is no instrument, na guitar, na sitar, na drums, na kuch aur. Everything that we are performing, we are only creating with our vocal cords.
जैसे आप सब और मैट्रिक्स साथ काम करने से चलते हैं, हम भी एक साथ मैजिक क्रिएट करते हैं. Each of us are talented on our own, but we are better together. जैसे कि आप और आपका मैट्रिक्स.
Let's get the party started. We are super excited because this is the first time that we are performing for an audience of 100,000 hairdressers. So, fasten your seatbelts and get ready for an unforgettable musical experience.
मुझे डर इस बात का है बस कि कहीं न ये रात निकल जाए मेरे इतने भी पास तो आ मत कहीं मेरे हाथों से ना बात निकल जाए हो गए हम और तुम तो उड़ गई निंदे रे और खन की पायल मस्ती में तो I'm in love with the shape of you We push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too, I'm in love with your body. And last night you were in my room, and now my bed sheets smell like you. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with your body. 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 Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with the shape of you. ಹಿರಿದೊರಿ ಚಕ್ಕರಯಂ ವೆಲ್ಲ ಕಲಿ ಮೊತ್ತುವೆನ್ನ ಪೋಲ್ ಎಲರುಡೆ തോർത്തു കീറിപ്പോയ കാര്യം ഓർത്തു പോകവേ അലകളെ കാത്തുന്നു നീ കാത്തുക്കുത്തൻ പാടുപെടേണ്ട ജടകര സേനാപതി വീര ബടുകാമലോലുക इश्क मिठा हो गुरु नाल इश्क मिठा हाय हाय और रब्बा लागे ना कि सेणु जावे गुरु नाल इश्क मिठा हो गुरु नाल इश्क मिठा हाय हाय और रब्बा लागे ना कि सेणु जावे गुरु नाल इश्क मिठा गुलाबी आंखें जो तेरी देखी शराबी ये दिल हो गया संभालो मुझको ओ मेरे यारो संभलना मुश्किल हो गया दिल में मेरे ख्वाब तेरे तस्वीरें जैसे हो दीवार पे तुझ पे फिदा मैं क्यों हुआ आता है गुस्सा मुझे प्यार पे मैं लुट गया मान के दिल का कहा मैं कहीं का ना रहा क्या करूं मैं दिलरुबा मैं लुट गया मान के दिल का कहा मैं कहीं का ना रहा क्या करूं मैं दिलरुबा बुरा ये जादू तेरी आंखों का ये मेरा कातिल हो गया गुलाबी आंखें जो तेरी देखी शराबी ये दिल हो गया तेनू मैं लव करदा बेमतलब करदा बाहों में आ सुनिए बस आज रात के लिए सदाता देसी है अदा कर देते हो जानी फिदा बाहों में आ सोनिए बस आज रात के लिए
सुबह होने ना दे साथ खोने ना दे एक दूसरे को हम सोने ना दे तुम मेरा हीरो ओ ओ ओ ओ ओ ओ ओ ओ तुम मेरा हीरो सुबह होने ना दे साथ खोने ना दे एक दूसरे को हम सोने ना दे तुम मेरा हीरो ओ ओ ओ ओ ओ ओ तुम मेरा हीरो शाम है जाम है और है नशा तन भी है मन भी है बिगड़ा हुआ छाई है रंगीनियां फिर भी है बेताबियां क्यों धड़कता है दिल क्यों ये कहता है दिल दीवाना को अब तक नहीं है ये पता
आज की रात होना है क्या पाना है क्या खोना है क्या आज की रात होना है क्या पाना है क्या खोना है क्या
तुम para तुम para इतना मजा क्यों आ रहा है तुमने हवा में भांग मिलाया दुगना नशा क्यों हो रहा है आंखों से मीठा तूने खिलाया
हो तेरी मलमल की कुर्ती गुलाबी हो गई मंचली चाल कैसे नकामी हो गई तो
पलम पे चिकारी जो तुमने मुझे मारी तो सीधी सादी चोरी शराबी हो गई हाँ जीन्स पहन के जो तुमने मारा ठुमका तो लट्टू पड़ोसन की भाभी हो गई पलम पे चिकारी जो तुमने मुझे मारी तो सीधी सादी चोरी शराबी हो गई हाँ जीन्स पहन के जो तुमने मारा ठुमका तो लट्टू पड़ोसन की भाभी हो गई हाँ बोले रे समाना खराबी हो गई हाँ बोले रे समाना खराबी हो गई
Matrix has taught you and inspired you to think, believe, dream, and dare. And we hope our next song reminds you to think positive, believe in yourself, dream of success, and dare to make it happen.
Do you really want it?
Wow, this event has been spectacular so far, and I'm so glad to be sharing it with you all. Let's take a screenshot of this moment and share it online with your friends and followers with the hashtag MatrixIndia. You're going to be so happy you're here as we get into the final masterclass of the day. We've got for you the hairdressing expert Greg Gilmore, जो 18 साल से इस hairdressing industry में है. Greg आपको दिखाएंगे a fun way to achieve the perfect pixie haircut just like Mandira Bedi. Take notes, for 400 of you have a chance to win wireless boat air dopes.
Hey, how's it going, guys? So my name's Greg. I'm here with you all today. Thank you for coming, and I'm so excited to be a part of this really learning, sharing, educational forum where we get to give to each other. And so I'm always down for that. And so I was just really happy to be able to do this with you guys. So I've come through to just give you my little 2 cents on the pixie cut. And so I have a really fresh way of looking at the pixie cut, and also just a really easy and simple technique that you can use on your clients to transform them in your chair. Because we all know we're alchemists. I mean, we make it happen. And you know, when people sit down in a chair, they want to become somebody new. And so the pixie is just one technique that you can use in your arsenal to pull out for the time you need it. So anyways, I'm going to begin. Now on one side of, this is Kim. And Kim, you know, she's fly. She likes to stay fly. So, you know, she had one cut on this side, then she has another cut now. This is lengthier because I cut it already before. But we're going much shorter, as you can see. And so I'm going to show you my step-by-step on how I did it. Now, one side I've already done for time purposes. I started in the crown. Okay, so where I start off in the crown, that hair that I first initially cut will really be the basis for the length that is going to permeate throughout the whole cut. So that is your starting point. Now what I'm going to do is take pie sections going around the whole head, diagonal sections, and then I'll, you know, complete it with just diagonal sections. So that's pretty amazing. The other thing too is that as a frame of reference, what I think will be easiest is if we look at Kim's head as if it were a clock. And so 12 o'clock being like, you know, from the middle of her eye or third eye, all the way down, and then, you know, you got the crown, and then all the way down to the nape, you will have 6 o'clock, okay? So then, of course, here at 12 o'clock, you have 1 and you have 2, and then 12 o'clock, you have 11 and 10. And now that's important because I'm going to do something different in that zone than I do in the rest of the head. Now, I'm going to go ahead and begin. So I'm just picking up sections here. Now I know where I previously started. I can see my hair there where my guide. And so I'm just going to cut. And I'm going to follow this diagonal section all the way down her head. I'm using convex cutting angle. That means that I'm following the round of her head. And I'm just pulling the hair straight out 90 and just following the curve of her head. I'm going to move all the way down from the crown, all the way down from the crown. That rhymes, you know. Anyways, into the nape, and I'm going to continue on cutting. So I'm just picking up this hair. Let me move her around. So a lot of times, you know, you can pick up large sections. I think this is a pretty, you know, simple cut. But if you are new to this, you may want to take your time. And that would consist of taking very small sections. When you use smaller sections, you tend to keep control. You can keep more control of what you're doing as you're cutting. And you limit your chances of getting lost in your cut. Okay, it's very important. So I think that if this is something that's new, you don't normally do pixie cuts a lot, maybe you want to keep it cute. and take your time. And just let, the client will understand. A lot of times people think like, oh, you got to talk and cut and entertain them and, make sure that they're happy and let them see you, watch you cut, and that's true. However, if you're doing something new, instead of running the risk of it messing up and them having a bad experience in your chair, just tell them to give you a small amount of time to focus on your cut. I heard a long time ago that, cutting hair and talking is just like talking and typing. It can be very hard to do sometimes. That's why educators, I feel like we all talented, because we off the cuff and we can say things and then we still cutting and then we still entertaining and then we still thinking and we doing a lot. But we tend to do pretty good. So anyways, I'm just continuing on. I'm around 3 o'clock right now. I'm like in between 3 and 4, but I'm moving into 3 o'clock real hard. And I am moving through. It's funny because, the way that I talk, some people laugh at me because I like to say y'all, and I'll say, what you doing? Or something like that. But I'm from Cleveland. And so if you're from Ohio, we're used to saying y'all, what y'all doing? That kind of thing. But one other thing that, I'm used to seeing, coming from Ohio is very stylized pixies. We love to put the curls in there. We love to put the pizzazz in there. We love to show our creative skill as we are, styling, because one of the old antics in our salons used to be in Cleveland is it's all in the cut. It's not all in the cut. It's all in the comb out. It's all in the comb out. However, the foundation is the cut. Okay? And so if you have the foundation being your cut, that means that your cut can be more universal. And so then also you can have a stylized pixie, you can have a chic pixie, you can have a sophisticated pixie, soft and classic, that kind of thing. Mind you, I am still moving, taking diagonal sections, working around the head. Now I did do that step. You watch me do it now. I did the whole step, pie sections, holding it straight out of the head, concave, all the way to here. Now I stopped at 2 o'clock. Okay, I stopped at 2 o'clock because I want to do something different between 2 o'clock and 12 o'clock. And so what I want to do is change my cutting angle from concave to convex. No. I'm all wrong. Okay, convex. I know y'all probably was like, what is he talking about? Convex is going with the round of the head. Excuse me. And concave will be going against the round of the head. I don't know why I always do that. It's kind of hard to remember sometimes. But anyways, I'm glad I remembered before this video was ending. So anyways, I'm taking a pie or diagonal section right here at about 2 o'clock from my crown. This means that, well, at this point, I have my guide there, as you can see, okay, at the end. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to cut. Now I'm going to use my concave cutting angle, meaning that I'm going to hold the hair straight up. And so this hair that actually is around the curvature of her parietal ridge right here, kind of going into her hairline, that hair is going to travel further to get to my cutting angle, meaning that it's going to collect length. And so we want to collect a little length because we'll have something to play with in the end, just to customize that for her, to make it more signature for her, that kind of thing. And so we want to make sure that we have that room left to be able to do that. So now I'm moving into maybe about 12 o'clock, maybe a little bit of 1 o'clock. I'm going to move some of that 12 o'clock out of there. And I'm going to come in here, okay, and finish that off. But remember, I am concave. I'm concave. So moving this, boom, 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 bow, bow. Ooh, and I just love how It just falls and it falls into place. I love that. You know, it's one of the great things about technique, because technique is a safety zone. You know, if you follow this technique, if you have faith in your technique and you follow it, even if you feel like unsure, even if you get a little lost, you go back into technique, it will be right. Okay? So have faith in your technique. Oftentimes, if I do get lost, I'll just go back into technique. Like, say this is too much hair, I'll be like, oh, you know what? Let me go back to 2 o'clock and start over, even if I have the same hairs that I cut, because there'll be a few hairs that I didn't cut, and they'll be falling into that part of the technique, just like a lawnmower. Whatever needs to be cut will get cut, and whatever should not be cut will fall out or not be cut. That's the rules. I don't make them, but it's the geometry in it. You know, I love that I know them. It helped me in my career. I hope it helps you too. Anyways, so, you know, we got something good going on here. I just finished. So you see how this is a little bit lengthy here because I used those concave cutting angles, okay? And it's all coming up to the same point. That's how you know it's a good cut, because everything is precision. Everything is right where it needs to be. That's what I love about that. So anyway, now I got all this around the sides. It's looking pretty good, but you know, say you might have some little chunks, you know, in there. You might have little gashes maybe because you was too quick and you was talking and you was doing a little bit too much. So maybe you need to fix that by blending. And so how I blend my cut is I like to go in shear over comb. And when I do a shear over comb method, I'm going to use a different comb, which I like to use one that has longer teeth. That just gives the hair room to travel when I'm moving or gliding the comb throughout the hair in this seamless motion of shear over comb. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to start in the neck, okay? And here we go. Boom, 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 boom. You got to be real quick with it though. You can't be real slow, because then you're going to just make more gashes. It has to be seamless. It has to be smooth. You know what I mean? So you have to go through and just really take your time. Take your time. And you will see that it starts to blend all those little nicks and things that you might have made by mistake during your foundational cutting. So I'm just going through and just kind of detailing. This is the finesse in the cut. You have the foundation, and then you have the finesse. Oops. Now I need some finesse to hold my comb. Anyways. So I'm going through, and I'm just chopping it up. Chopping it up with Kim. Moving through. I'm even on the sides with it, but I'm staying on the tips. I don't want to go too deep in my shear over comb, because then I'm just going to create a new shape. I'm going on the tips because what I'm trying to do, or attempting to, is refine my shape. And so that takes a little bit of finesse. And it takes a steady hand, you know, and I'm just kind of moving through with a little finesse, you know. So it's pretty dope, you know. And so I'm going to do a little bit right here because I see that needs a little finesse right there. And I'm just moving through, coming through. I mean, I guess you got to make it fun, you know. It's not just so technical all the time, so serious. But one of the great things that I feel like cosmetologists are underrated about is because we use both sides of the brain. We use the left side and we use the right side, because so much stuff can be so technical and you have to really get it right, and you have to really remember the terminology and remember all the things. And then you have to get creative. And you only get creative by how you twerk it, you pivot, you angle, you know. And so I think that's pretty dope. I think that's so unique that we're able to do that. And it's not a lot of other, you know, professions that are able to do that. Also, we're one of the only ones that are licensed to touch. Oh, so before I run out of time, let's look at these bangs. Now, one thing that I like to do with the bangs, I really like to finesse with the bangs. I like to kind of come in and sometimes maybe slither through. I can slice pieces out. And that kind of frees up some of the bulk and maybe allows it to be more free gives it more movement. We can kind of structure this bang a little bit more so that it looks neat and intentional. And so sometimes, you know, they might have that little swoop because maybe they got some cowlicks that's directing their hair this way. You can go ahead and just move it opposite a little bit and boom, 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 boom. You know, it's hard to cut on the mannequin head sometimes because it doesn't give you no room sometimes. That little piece right there. Got it. Anyways, so I'm just finessing, you know, doing a little something, jazzing it up or whatever with a little detail. And so I like to go around the ear too to make sure that that is really like fine-tuned. And you can see I just kind of cut. Sometimes it's better going against the grain. It makes things so much easier. So I'm just following this, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, boom. And a little right there. And so she looking good. I mean, And some, you know, a lot of times, you know, you can just go ahead and round it out if you want to. Because rounding, I feel, is softer. You know, round shape is softer, square is harder. And in most cases, we refer to that as masculine. Okay. So we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. And so I'm going to just kind of go around here. I think from another cut, her sidebar might not match the other ones. But when it's a new person and it's a new cut, you know what to do. Oh my goodness. I'm just having fun with y'all. Please don't mind me. I'm just, you know. So that is it. I like to go in with a little beach clay. Okay, this is some of Matrix product, beach clay. I'm saying beach clay. I go through, move it, and then I can have soft, boom, or boom, okay? Soft, chic, classic. I can have edgy, funky, free, okay? But the beach clay gives me the versatility to be able to do that. And I love that it brings out the layers in this cut so that you can really see all of the layers, the details, and all that. And besides Kim, here are a few different versions. Okay, this is Shelly. I left her lengthier in the back, and you can see I used the So Color on her roof, left some blonde out. She rad, she fly. Okay, then I have Ice Cold. She a little shorter, she a little more rounded, you know, but she about the same. So you can repeat this technique. Okay, here's one too. Boom, boom. And then Kima, bam, bam, okay? And see, I added some signature pieces there in the end, you know? And I just got like real funky with it and real mod in the bang, okay? So I hope you liked my presentation. I really have fun with you guys for my short little piece of time, okay? And that's just my 2 cents on the pixie cut. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helps you with your clients in your chairs and your salons. And I'll talk to you next time.
Nothing says cool like a sexy pixie cut, right? Give me a star in the reaction box if you loved this look. The stylists today have given you a lot to try out, and I'm sure you are all set to take your clients from drab to fab, thanks to our masterclasses. There is still a lot to enjoy up ahead, but before we get there, here's our final quiz question. What was the sectioning pattern that Greg used? Horizontal section, vertical section, diagonal section, or was it the diagonal pie sections? I know Matrix MD is giving you lots to look forward to in the future. From new cuts to new colors, it's always been our intention to be future first in our thinking. It's what has driven us to become more digital and to help you make your business more digital. Let me call DP Sharma, Director of the Professional Products Division at L'Oreal, to tell you more about this. DP has worked with Matrix for more than 10 years, helping build this community. He provided the strategy and direction and was responsible for driving the overall growth of Matrix to create a large footprint across the country. He has watched the industry evolve and is probably the best person here to give us his views for the future.
हेलो एवरीवन, सबसे पहले मैं आप सब लोगों का धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं जो आप सब लोगों ने यहां ज्वाइन किया और अपना बहुमूल्य समय दिया. सो अ बिग थैंक यू टू ऑल ऑफ यू हु हैव जॉइंड अस. अब थोड़ा फ्लैशबैक में चलते हैं. 22 साल पहले मैंने ये कंपनी और ये इंडस्ट्री ज्वाइन की थी और तब बहुत ही कम प्रोफेशनल सैलून्स थे. एजुकेशन ऑलमोस्ट ना के बराबर थी. कलरेशन के नाम पे सबको मेहंदी हैना ही याद आती थी. तब 22 साल पहले when I started my career, like every youngster, even I had a dream in my eyes. And the dream was to change the industry for betterment. As of today, when I see through the same eyes, I see the industry has actually transformed. Today, we work with more than 50,000 professional salons. We have a world-class artistry and creativity which is showcased in international conferences. Thanks to the massive education network that we have developed over 2.5 decades. It's a dynamic environment and it's still changing. Actually, I remember an old saying, the only constant in life is change. When I see the future, the change will be driven digitally, and now the next transformation will be digital. Yes, it's gonna be a digital revolution in this industry also. And at every step, its influence will be felt. Be it consultations, be it selection of products, delivery of education, the way consumers make choices, the way they can virtually try on new looks before they finalize. I agree that the industry has seen some tough times in the last 1 year. But I'm very confident that this crisis will not go for a waste. Just to share, the online sales of beauty and personal products have almost doubled in the last 1 year, with a lot of these numbers coming from first-time buyers. When salons were not an option, consumers turned to the internet for all the beauty solutions. This actually means recruitment of new consumers to professional space. Basically, नए consumers जिन्होंने पहले कभी professional products use नहीं किए थे, वो हमारे साथ जुड़े. This lot of educated consumers actually makes our life simple, because for hairdressers, the core competence, which is the artistry, remains at the heart, and the rest of the things are taken care by the educated consumer and technology. The experience, the expertise, the skill, and most importantly, the human touch cannot be replaced. The assistance of technology clubbed with the skill set of hairdresser is the new rising sun. As the industry progresses, so does education. And it has transformed digitally too. A key platform for our education is the Access app. इसके थ्रू आपको सिर्फ क्लासेस ही नहीं मिलती, फ्रेंड्स भी मिलते हैं, नई फैमिली भी मिलती है, and hairdressers from all over the country can share their experiences. You can also upskill yourself जब भी आपके पास टाइम हो with the e-academy videos and tutorials. We already have 3 lakh hairdressers using this platform to further their careers, share their own videos and conversations with fellow hairdressers. Invention is not limited only to education, but also to our business channel. After all, necessity is the mother of all inventions. Last year, we were all under lockdown, but we were still able to service our consumers with our product through social commerce. They were able to maintain the look and hair at home even when they could not visit the salons. We truly indulged with them virtually for consultations and recommendations and made the human emotion come to life even stronger this time virtually. Social commerce was a huge source of revenue for many. Many salon owners were able to give some part of their salaries to their staff when no service revenue was coming in. As I mentioned, this also brought new consumers who can now be upgraded, premiumized, as for the first time we sold the retail products to them and then converted them to service. Even as the way we do business is evolving, what is not changing is the importance of hairdressers and their skills. As we go ahead, the Gen Z of hairdresser will need to be more comfortable with technology. क्योंकि अब टेक्नोलॉजी आपके salon में, आपके मोबाइल फोन में आ गई है. With augmented reality, consumers will be able to virtually try on various cuts and colors before choosing one. Artificial intelligence systems will be able to even recommend styles and colors basis face shape and skin tone. All these technologies don't mean कि hairdressers का काम खत्म. Because hairdressing is such a personal experience, the human touch will always be important. The interaction you have with your client is the key to a satisfying experience for them. They will still need your reassurance and उससे भी ज़्यादा your skill and artistry to deliver on their expectations. And like before, you can count on Matrix to help you give them what they want. We have become a family over the past 15 years. The family will get bigger and this bond will get stronger in the digital age. Thanks to the digital revolution, आज 1 lakh hairdressers यहाँ मेरे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं. When I took up the role of the brand general manager of Matrix, I wanted to bring people together, create something which is larger than life. And I want to thank all of you for making that dream come true today. Thank you.
Digitalization is indeed the future of humanity. It has enabled us to survive and grow as a community even in difficult times. As DP said, Matrix has been investing in this aspect of the business for a while and will continue to do so. And now, to tell you more about the future of digitalization, we have a very special speaker.
Hello everyone, I'm Shalu Jhunjhunwala from Google and very excited to be here with you today as part of Matrix MD. Thank you for taking time from your schedules to invest behind truly understanding how the future is going to be, how your consumers and business is getting transformed with the power of technology and digital. And I hope I help you through this session in understanding this a little better and enabling you with a few ways to make the most out of this. But before we jump into that, let's take a minute to understand how encompassing digital has truly become. It's truly become the gateway to the future. Digital is no longer a phenomena of the youth or a certain segment of society. We have more than 60 crore internet users today coming online through over more than 50 crore smartphones. These consumers are using data and technology to become much more self-reliant. They're using it to make decisions, whether it's related to shopping a product online or buying a service experience, or also making payments and even education. So it becomes very important to understand this consumer and engage with them effectively. Let's also understand how much this affects the segment that you truly care about most, which is beauty and salons. There's a study which Google did some time back, and that shows that 9 out of 10 consumer journeys today are touched by digital. That means 9 out of 10 consumers who are walking into a salon has at some point of their consumer journey leveraged digital and the internet to help them make a decision. It becomes important to understand these consumer journeys and integrate and engage with them effectively. Another very interesting point which is important to note is that in the last couple of years, many businesses have been challenged, and especially businesses which are offline. But while offline businesses were challenged and maybe walk-ins to your salons were challenged, in that same period, we saw queries around salons near me grow at the rate of over 100%. These users were coming online to figure out which is the most effective solution and salon that they want to walk into and closest to their locality. What we want to enable you with is the right way to ensure you engage with this consumer and you bridge the gap between the offline and the online experience. Consumers move seamlessly across both these channels, and it's important you provide a consistent experience to your consumer. What we'll focus on is 3 simple steps that you could take as a business to really help ensure that you engage with this consumer effectively. The first step is digitizing your stores. What do we mean when we say digitize your stores? You have an offline store, you provide it with the best possible experience. You have a nice outdoor, you ensure the locality is right, and all those different elements. It's important that you replicate that same thing in the online environment. You're providing the most accurate and authentic information about your salons, your stores in the online experience. The second step, once you've digitized your store, is to ensure you're driving engagement with these consumers. You're not just providing information, but you're actually talking and conversing with them. And there are ways and means to do that very effectively using technology today. And the last piece, which becomes very, very important, is how are you leveraging technology and digital to drive deeper consumer experiences, where you're actually able to interact with them, touch them, influence them in a much more impactful way. Let's go one step deeper into the first step, which is digitizing your store. As you see here, it entails 2 simple steps. First and foremost, there is something called Google My Business, where you have a simple process of onboarding your store online. We would urge you to take this step. Ensure you're providing accurate data about your store and ensuring that information is presented in the most authentic format. Once you've done that, the second step is ensuring that the hygiene of the data is maintained. For example, you're providing the right timings for the store opening and closing. Another example is you're providing the right location of your store and also ensuring that the data is updated as and when things change. This is not complicated, it's a simple process. Please do take a look at it and we'll be happy to help you through it. Moving to the second part, which is engaging with your consumers. What we want to really encourage you to do is ensure that you're actively messaging, updating, and talking to your consumers in an engaging manner. What do we mean by when you say messaging? The first view here shows you how can you talk to your consumers. There are technologies available through Google where you can message and have a real conversation with your consumer to help them with much more personalized information. The second option here is updates. For example, you can go and talk to your consumers and tell them that post and unlock, you've actually been able to ensure your stores, your salons are sanitized, all the right precautions are being taken care of, and that puts in a lot more confidence in your consumer to actually walk into your salon. And the last bit here is ensuring that you're sharing what offers you have for your consumers, which help them make that final decision. Here's an example of a salon which is providing all their offers that they provide in their online experience and helping that consumer make that final call. Last but not the least, we spoke about engaging with your consumer through experiences, and technology sits at the heart of it. Today, with a simple camera, you can actually point a camera towards a product and get all the information you need about it. And you can actually go one step ahead and actually buy that product if you want to. Think of how this enables you and your consumers. There are AR experiences which are there today, where consumers can come online and actually try different hair colors on, try different shades on, and see what looks best for them. There are visual search experiences where they can simply point the lens of their camera towards a hair color that they find interesting and find more information about it on the fly. And the future of this is still even more exciting. there's going to be a lot of unlock which is going to happen in the beauty and salon space and make the AR and VR space a lot more impactful for your business and your consumers. The last bit that we want to talk about is how do you make money simple? Payments and digital has become a way of life today for people. It's important for you as a salon owner to ensure that you're integrating these experiences for your consumers. You're providing them these options to discover your brand through platforms like Google Pay, and also ensure that they're able to make that final decision of making that payment in a much more seamless manner. This again is a simple step of ensuring that you list yourself on Google Pay in the nearby section and provide all this information to your consumers and options back to them. Let me take a minute and share an example of a business which has actually enabled this. During the period that all of us were impacted by COVID-19, Hero MotoCorp took on the challenge and they said that they're going to digitize their dealerships. They want to bring them online. They want to ensure they're providing accurate information about these outlets to help consumers make better calls and decisions. They did this effectively and they were actually able to drive more calls, more visits and more business for their dealers and their outlet stores, leveraging the power of online. It's possible for you, and it's a simple 3-step process. The first step which we'll encourage you to do is show up. And by that we mean digitize your shows. Be present online with the right information. The second step is speed up, which is drive engagement with your consumers through messages, through providing offers, and providing accurate information. And the last step is wise up, which is drive deeper experiences with your consumers, leveraging the power of AR, VR, and even more further upcoming technologies in the future. At the heart of all of this, we really want to partner with you and partner with L'Oreal to bring you the best of what technology can help you to grow your businesses. Thank you, and it's been a pleasure being here with you today.
That was an eye-opening session, and I'm glad we got to share it with you. At Matrix, we have always been thinking ahead, preparing for the future of our industry. As the world becomes more digital, so have we. We have already been using digital mediums to bring you exclusive masterclasses and help you with your business model. And we are looking forward to connecting with you virtually, ताकि हम एक दूसरे को support कर सके, एक साथ आगे बढ़ सके. If you missed the last session or any part of this event, don't worry. You can watch it on this site for the next 7 days.
Matrix M Day would not have been exciting without our whole family here. And it isn't what hairdressing is all about. A way to express your creativity, create magic. It's this magic and excitement that made me fall in love with hairdressing many years ago. I started work as a waiter, making 20 rupees a day, with no idea or plan of what I wanted to do with my life. I was just drifting. I worked as a salesman in a black and white TV shop, a nursery teacher, even a ballroom dance instructor. It was just curiosity that made me do a hairdressing course. But once I stepped in, I knew this is it. This is what I'm meant to do, and now I can't do without it, even for a day. When I was a young hairdresser, I didn't like calling myself a hairdresser. I felt people would look down on me. But today, I couldn't be more proud of the choice I made back then. I'm proud to call myself a hairdresser now. Maybe your story is just like mine, or maybe you always knew this is what you wanted to do. But however you got here, I want you to be proud of yourself and what you're doing. I know I am. As people who change lives every day, you know how important hair is to a person's sense of well-being? Even the Queen of England needs a hairdresser. See how important you are. Everyone goes to a hairdresser to make them feel good about themselves and make them more confident. And you You can do that for them. All of you out there, cutting, coloring, and styling with confidence. You are all artists. And you can be whoever you want to be, no matter what your dreams are and how far they seem in reality. I believe you can achieve them if you dare to make that effort. Because you are not alone. As you do it, hum sab aapke saath hai. This whole community is with you. Matrix is with you all the way. We are a family, and as long as we stay together, hum kuch bhi achieve kar sakte hain. So, whenever you feel unsure in life, ki pata nahi bhai ab main kya karu, just follow this simple mantra. Think, believe, dream, and dare.